Boom, boom. All right.
How dare you mute us, bestie?
I was making sure that we were set up. Welcome, everyone. This is episode 5 of Tales of Ethyl. Thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Yeah, it's been an interesting. Oh, look, hi, Chick. Hi, Sideways. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's go. What we normally do. Let's start off with our introductions. On the bottom left of me is Silas.
Howdy, howdy. How you doing? I'm Silas. I've got a little guest with me right now. This is Autumn, and we're both here to be scared and hopefully not die. You may see people come in and pet her like every so often.
That's fine. By the way, if anyone's curious, that's mother of Shaggy. That's my mom. Everyone say hi, hi, Miss Karma. Hi, Mrs. Karma, mom.
Hi, Karma, mom.
Hi.
Oh my God,
and what
hello.
the fuck is on your eyeballs? I wear these so I don't get headaches. They help me. Ooh, beer.
He's trying to be my twin again. It's
I am
okay.
100%. These aren't. They're not real, Ma. They're just blue light glasses. But all right. Sorry. Back with the introductions. Right next to Mr. Silas is Kazim.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'm playing Kazim, an Aarakocra. Yeah.
Nerd.
And next to him is Mistrix.
Hi guys, I'm Dyer. I have a camera again. Hopefully this means this time I may not die.
And last but not least is Nico.
Hello, my name is Dragon. Nico's a lover, not a fighter. Let's keep it like that.
And I am Uppercase Karma. I am your DM, but I assume you know that because you're on my channel. Quick announcement.
Hey, I made that joke.
You did. Quick announcement, guys. All the viewers out there will be a break at about every hour for 3 minutes of ads. I'm trying to get rid of pre-rolls, so it'll be a little quick Q&A for us to answer chat and stuff like that. If it's just a test to see if it's gonna work out for the stream or not. So just be aware of that. And yeah, before we get started, we gotta do what we always do. I guess Sideways wants a second one, so you'll get 2 from me. But cheers to the campaign, y'all. Cheers to the friends.
Hey.
I love you guys. Let's have some fun tonight.
Oh god, I need to stop doing this out the bottle.
All right, I'm gonna do one more for Sideways since he redeemed it.
I'll help. I'll do that
Autumn,
at
you're
the
too
bottom
young. You're too young, darling.
now. She's a baby.
Gotta start him out right.
She's
Also-
11 weeks, Carva. She's a child.
I got you, bestie.
Salute.
You know what I didn't do though?
What?
I didn't get a chaser because
Yeah,
I'm
me
a
either.
bitch.
Where the fuck is? Oh yeah, so there's one.
Mm.
I don't need a third. Please don't do a third sideways. Please.
No,
Yeah, no, I'm
We're-
good with this
Let
one.
us get 5
Let-
minutes in, and then,
I need to
then
be coherent. I have a story to tell Sideways.
let us at least get 5 minutes in. Come
All
on.
right, are you guys ready? Anything you want to say to our chat before we get started?
You all are amazing, and we love you.
We love you, apart from 7-year-olds, because you know what you fucking did.
Jesus, all right.
A little aggressive.
He's got a point.
Feel the aggression.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin our tale of our tale of magic and wonder of the tales of Ethyl. And death, obviously. Where we left off is last episode. They decided the doppelganger in which they were chasing was heading towards Peakbarrow in an effort to make their way and cut it off before it could get there, perhaps to ready some defenses. They tried to teleport. Something seemed to have gone wrong with the teleporter, and Mistrix might have seen something that seemed to jog her memory a little bit. Fortunately enough, the portal was still open. We were able to make our way back, but portal travel obviously wasn't going to be an option. So, with the recommendation from the Archmage to be able to take what's known as the underpass that Kazim was familiar with, that we were able to take to cut some time off of the travel. Unfortunately, the path is incredibly dangerous. We've seen a roper, which was a great fight where Nico went unconscious, managed to be able to save them. After that, we ended up fighting these 2 little slime things that may or may not have almost killed Mistrix, and I needed to homebrew it because I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. But we saved her. Everything seems to be fine.
Life number 4.
Life number 4. We left off in a room that it had a purple crystal in it, surrounded by rocks all around with a bunch of writing. You guys managed to find a couple scrolls, couple chests, backpack, and what looks to be a round pinkish sphere in a backpack, or as you guys have been calling it, the bomb. After quick spells and some interesting other discoveries, a quick spell from Mistrix revealed the words on all over the walls and all over the rocks that seem to repeat over and over again. Traitor of false hope, don't touch the anchor. Most of our party isn't aware of what that could mean, but one party member that might have a clue was Kazim. We left off right as we were trying to decide what we were going to do with it right after the translation, and I'd like to ask you, group, what would you like to do?
The stunned silence.
I mean, what do we even do in this situation?
I mean,
Well, I mean, we already know not to touch the crystals, so that's not a big deal for us.
so does that make the crystal an anchor?
But
I feel like not
question is,
all
who
of
do
the
they
anchors, not all the crystals are anchors, but this crystal specifically is an anchor. Because if they were all anchors, then we've seen like 5 at this point out of the 12. By the way, anchors exist. There's like 12 of them.
Okay,
Don't
what
touch-
exactly are they anchored
whoa.
to?
There's 12 of these things.
Yes.
This is the
How do
second
you
one
know
we've
that?
interacted with.
I've done my research. I've had books. I've yelled at Archie a couple of times. I've gotten my words in. From what I understand, these are incredibly dangerous, and we either need to destroy them or not destroy them. And I'm pretty sure it's not destroy.
So it's 50-50. You're betting on
Uh,
a 50-50 here.
Where are my notes? Okay. Don't break the anchor. Don't
Why
touch it.
can't we break the anchor? Wasn't our original plan to destroy it?
As
to
far
destroy
as I'm aware, if we break the anchors, that kind of opens up the gate a bit more into the astral sea.
Oh, well, that's
Karma,
fine.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Cool, yeah.
So,
Daughter fucking bitch. Oh my god.
so the crystal back at River's Run, is that one safe?
I have no idea. Gotta be honest. This is the first. To be honest with you, this is the first proof that I have that anchors are a real phenomenon, and I still can't be sure that this is 100% an anchor. But the fact that it says "Don't touch the anchor" right next to this giant glowing crystal that people clearly died by touching, I'm pretty sure this is an anchor.
Well, it also says traitor false hope. So, does that mean a certain person? A certain type of people?
Doppelgangers?
Eurus, maybe?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the doppelgangers come from this kind of thing, though, right? So, what exactly would that magic do to them? Would it send them back?
In my
Perhaps,
research, from what I understand, these anchors keep them out, not in.
perhaps these dead folk were simply followers being manipulated by the doppelgangers who were trying to get them to collect all 12 anchors. They realized
well,
they were betrayed and the anchors
do-
sent them mad and killed each other.
Do any of us have some kind of magic to hide this thing since we can't break it?
Well, it's not. Look, we don't have to break it per se, but we can maybe cave in this room. You know, like we can just, the rocks around it. We can try to cover it.
I was gonna say old reliable, just destroy the cave.
Yes, but we run the risk of, if we cave it in, destroying the crystal.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Nico,
Yes.
is it possible to store it in your special
I mean-
compartment?
Yes, it is. The thing is, though, I'll have to pick it up. I don't have to touch it necessarily with my bare hand, but I have to pick it up. But yes, I could potentially store it there.
Would you have to be in there with it, or
I can just pop in and out, leave it there.
I do have extra clothes that we can like use as gloves. So
or we just keep the whole backpack in there?
Karma,
Exactly.
is the anchor glowing right now?
Yes.
If we just move it into the backpack, I can just pop in and out, store it there. It's gonna be safe.
We don't know.
Nothing can get there unless I permit it.
All right. Well,
we
since
don't
I'm
know
already
that it won't have an effect on you while it's in your necklace.
I mean, of course.
Or we
so
also don't know that holding it with clothes will protect us from the effect.
I have a plan. Since I'm already, just recently revived, if I go touch it with something in my hand, you will be able to bitch smack me and knock me unconscious again.
I don't like that plan.
I'm okay with that plan so that we can tell how we can handle these things. Because we need to know how to be able to handle these things.
If our enemies want these broken, we need to protect them.
Yeah.
Are we agreed on that much?
Yes.
Yes.
If we need to protect them, we're going to have to be around them.
Yeah.
That's unavoidable until we find a secure place where no one will find it. Experimenting could be dangerous, but we're going to have to do it eventually. We don't know how long we're going to be carrying this anchor around. Because we don't know if there's someone in Peakbarrow we can trust with it yet.
Now, like
Especially if the doppelgangers on their way there.
Small things I can have the unseen servant pick up and put in bags. That's no biggie.
If you put in bag, and I pick up the bag itself.
Well,
I mean, you guys
we can't put that in a bag. We can't put this giant ass fucking thing in a bag.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Look.
Whatever we do, we need to decide quickly because we have other places to be.
Let's assume for the moment that the only bit of this crystal that is the anchor is the glowing part that we have.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of rosemary quartz out there from what I can understand from what you've described, Kazim. There's only 12 anchors.
Karma, how big is this crystal? Like
the sphere?
No, like the anchor crystal.
The anchor, which
is
it bigger than me?
Are you talking about the big crystal in the middle of the circle? Yes, it's bigger than all of you. It's also not glowing as much as the sphere is.
Okay. Well, the sphere is not a giant problem right now. I'm trying to figure out what to do to cover.
No, I think the sphere is the anchor.
Yeah.
Is the sphere the anchor or is the crystal the anchor? I have no way to tell the difference.
The rocks around the giant pillar crystal are what say, "Don't touch the anchor."
So we can only assume that this giant crystal in the crater is the anchor?
Here's what I'm thinking. The crystal that was in the mirror, are we assuming that was an anchor? Because the doppelgangers wanted it. The doppelgangers were after that specifically.
I mean, they cracked it, all the magic has left it. If they were after it...
break it. They want to break it to unleash whatever the fuck it is sealing it behind, right?
So, Karma, does the sphere we have look similar to the crystal that was on the mirror?
Make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie, I can do that for you, sir. Perception's one of my good ones. That's not a good roll, though. That's an 8.
You're having a hard time recalling exactly what the other one kind of looked like. It's been a couple days or so, and a lot has happened for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our safest bet is to put it away safely. We can't just be carrying it around in a backpack, and we have to have it around us in order to protect it.
I don't think we can protect this anchor. I don't think the 4 of us, we have another mission to take care of. We can't.
Well, how about instead of collapsing this chamber, we collapse the entryways, since we're the ones that know where the entryways are?
Okay.
That's
And-
also a possibility.
Yeah, and then that way, if
So
this
we're assuming
giant
that
ass
the
thing,
big crystal.
that way, if it is the anchor, it's sealed off, and they're gonna have to fight to get in there anyway.
So means
If
we
it's
have
not
no-
the anchor, nobody's gonna give two fucks about a caved-in cave.
It also means that we cut off our shortcut back to Riverstone.
No, we can go that we can keep
We
proceeding
can take the
and
main
then
road,
yeah.
or hopefully
Yeah.
even the church in
I-
Peakbarrow
Well,
might have
I'm
the
saying,
teleporter
I'm
online.
saying coming back, so that would make this a one-way trip.
hopefully the teleporters aren't fucking jinxed by the Archmage next time.
Well, we can only assume the teleporter in Peakbarrow. It should be online.
Anyway, we're spending a
And-
lot of time discussing this that we
Let's
don't
just blow
have.
up the fucking tunnel.
Worst case scenario, we can spend a couple hours digging our way through.
Oh, hold on. We don't have explosives. How are we gonna blow up this tunnel?
Could I Eldritch blast the rocks ahead, like above the?
Can
the
you
entrance.
do a nature check
Nature check.
or straight intelligence?
Yeah, that's +0 to both. Hey, that's okay. That's okay. That's 17.
Yeah, you're looking around I'm assuming the entrance that you guys came from that you're looking at.
Yeah.
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 So you're looking around it, and you see what looks to be like maybe there's some cracks and stuff like that. In the way that it's formed, you assume that a well-placed shot in a couple of these, you probably would be able to collapse just the entrance and not the rest of the room. So there's a couple places where it looks like you absolutely could.
Now the
I'm gonna
question
make-
is, if you Eldritch blast that and fuck up,
I have
We cave
120
ourselves in.
feet of range.
Which is
120.
exactly why I'm gonna move the horses to
Yeah,
the
put the
other
horses
side
at
of
the
the
exit.
room.
put
Everyone,
the horses at the exit.
I hope all of you
I will
remember your horse
say-
names.
Yes,
Just
I will
dash it.
stay by
Yeah.
Nico because I have feline agility, so I can like drag you with me and move a little faster. So it'll basically, instead of me carrying you and being burdened, I can carry you and move at normal speed.
That's yeah.
That'll help.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Kazim?
me and Mr. Riggs go together.
Yeah, Kazim,
Yeah.
you help me with the horses
Of course.
because I've only got 2 hands.
Take care of Buttercup.
Hmm.
If I die, Silas, I expect you to feed my horse.
If you die, I'm making sure this horse lives a long and healthy life.
Thank you. Play it music every night, okay?
Only the best lullabies.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are blowing up the tunnel.
The tunnel that we came from, yes, not our exit, our
Okay.
entrance.
So I'm assuming that you guys are all, Silas and Kazim are taking the horses all the way to the back to the other, what looks to be there is another tunnel on the other side that looks like it's going to continue further down. And you said your range is 120 feet, Nico?
120 feet. Yes.
Okay. So you guys are able to get just past the rock circle to still have the ability to be able to still shoot. Actually, you're probably going to be within 60-ish feet, because how far does your dark vision go?
It's
60 feet.
60. Oh yeah, we have to be within 60
I-
feet. Okay.
Kazim has the
If you don't want
lantern.
to shoot blind.
Do we want to borrow the lantern from Kazim?
I don't
And
have a
just
lantern.
place
I
it
had a
there?
torch.
I gave you my lantern, good sir.
Kazim,
Oh, you know
And
what?
I
Kazim,
will give you the lantern back.
Okay, well then I have a
I
lantern.
can do it more easily.
I was gonna
I'll
say
just-
either that or cast light on one of my
Yeah.
the crossbow bolt and fire it and put the crossbow bolt where we want you to aim.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't lose the lantern.
Pretty good.
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna lose lantern, and we
You
can
can keep the lantern for now, Kazim.
get crossbow bolts by the dozen.
So is Kazim going to be making these shots to try and hit close enough to him?
Or we can just put something. Oh yeah, you need to fucking
Yeah.
shoot it.
Okay.
I can make the
Alright.
shots. Does somebody have light?
I have light spell. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Is light concentration?
It is not actually.
No? Okay.
It just duration 1 hour.
I think it's
that's it.
the
So there's two, looking at it, you could probably make enough light to be able to see it from further away with just kind of 2 of them. So if Kazim, if you can make 2 different attack rolls for me.
That is a 19 and a 20, both not natural.
Okay. So easily enough, Kazim's able to kind of place his shots in a very well spot area to where if you back up the full 120 feet if you want to, you can easily see what looks like maybe 3 or 4 cracks that if you hit will probably collapse the actual tunnel. So if you guys want to back up, I assume that they're behind you guys.
Yeah.
And then Mistrix, you're right next to Nico this whole time?
I'm gonna be like directly behind them with like my hand on the back of his shirt. That way, if something happens, I can just drag him with me and go.
Good.
Okay, so you guys are, while you guys are kind of backing up, you guys are being placed just on the other side of this rock, and then you guys get in position to where you're right behind him. And Nico, if you could go ahead and make, start off with 2 Eldritch Blast.
Let's see. 19, and that is a 16 plus 7, 23.
Okay, if you can go ahead and roll damage for both of those for me.
Let's see. D10s. It's this one. 4, 10, 20 total. Wait, it's not 20 total, it's 22 total. 24 because of the thunder.
Okay, so you guys are at the other tunnel, hiding behind a couple rocks, and you see Nico holding out his hand towards those two, towards a couple fissures that are in the ceiling, and some beautiful blue shots. The first one kind of goes, and it hits the first fissure that's kind of all the way on the side here, and you see it start to crack a little bit more and connect to the other ones. So Nico, with his expert aim, is able to kind of see where it ends and shoots one more there, and a brilliant blue Eldritch Blast comes from his hand and strikes against the wall, and you guys start feeling the rumble of the different walls, and there's rocks beginning to fall on top of all of you guys, and you're worried as if there's going to be a cave-in, but you notice a bunch of the rocks towards the front entrance where you guys came from actually starts falling and closing it off, and then as it starts to die down a little bit, you see a fissure kind of start going towards the middle, but lucky enough it does stop, and you hear a couple more rocks to titter out, and then all of a sudden it's just silence. And yeah, you're able to close it off very easy.
I have a question. Did we even check if there's a way out of here?
No, you did
Yeah,
not.
we closed it?
We told you plan for the exit.
Cool, good. No,
Well,
like,
it's
just making sure.
It's a tunnel, and not a cave. There's a reason it's a shortcut to
Okay,
Peakbarrow.
cool,
Because there's
cool,
one way
cool.
in, one way out. At least.
Cool. Are all caves like this? I mean, tunnels, because let me tell you, this is not necessarily a very nice trip that we've been on so far.
I don't think all caves have 2 exits, but this one's fairly man-made.
I just don't
This
like
tunnel
any
was
of them.
bored,
I've never been in a cave before, so don't ask me.
and I prefer not to be down here as much as we can.
All right, well, let's
keep
go
going.
because
Yeah, we should
claustrophobia
just
is
keep
a
going.
thing.
Okay, if anyone could roll me a d20.
I wanna.
You're doing
I'll
it?
use-
Okay.
I'll use the red one. Let's go. 19.
Okay, so you guys are able to... Kazim, you know that you're starting to get closer as you're walking down these tunnels. You see more and more of these pink kind of clusters of crystals popping up all over the place, kind of getting more and more frequent the closer you get in, which is a sign for you that you're getting closer, and you see what looks to be this kind of cave entrance with a rock that's in front of it, but you see some light kind of shining through on in front of it. You see more writing on the rock in front of you, but you're able to see the light on the other side, and a bunch of those pink crystals kind of all over the place.
Is the writing on a pink rock or is it on a rock?
Just a regular rock.
Okay. Do you want me to read the rock?
I mean,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, can you?
It's better to know what it says.
Yeah. In case we go into the fucking open.
Are we
gate,
all
or
sure that this
whatever.
rock is not a mimic? I can touch this rock and not be frightened. I don't trust. I died to blood.
Do you want me to try and stab the rock?
Don't break your blade in case it is an actual rock. Anyway, I'm going to be very cautious, but I'm going to read what the rock says.
Okay, so you're casting Comprehend Languages again?
Yes.
Are you casting it with the spell slot or as a ritual?
It's a spell slot.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure you're able to cast this stuff as a ritual as well if you want to take 10 minutes to do them without spending a spell slot.
Do we have 10 minutes, or do I just want to touch it and read it?
I mean, we probably have 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, well then we'll do it that
Okay.
way then.
So-
It is a ritual, so I just
So Mistrix kind of sits down and she pulls out a couple little components here and starts kind of throwing her hands up and seeing the sprinkle kind of all over and some faint glows coming from it. What are you guys doing for 10 minutes?
feeding the horses.
Yeah,
Feeding horse?
I'm gonna walk up to Hazel too, actually.
Okay, okay.
To my horse.
If you guys want to, you can make
Um,
animal handling checks.
I
Ugh,
can't bond with
me.
my horse because I'm doing important things.
You'll be fine.
My horse is gonna hate me.
Animal
My horse is gonna
handling.
fucking kill me.
17.
Look, I've been strapped to Buttercup, like literally with an arrow.
Animal.
So
Mm.
17 total too.
Hey!
Josh, what are you
Hey,
doing?
+1.
Trying to get my stats back open. My D&D Beyond crashed.
Ooh. Well, easily enough, at least the two of you were able to nuzzle up with your
Bond.
horse. Seems very fond of both of you guys. Silas, you were fully aware that your horse was already infatuated with you.
not as infatuated as Mistrix is with Nico, though.
Not even a little bit. That's gonna be
Oh
something
my
that flourishes into something beautiful.
No worries of bestiality between orc and horse.
But as far as Silas is concerned, he is still very much married, okay?
Okay. The horse doesn't know that though, man. The horse doesn't. Is your horse a boy or a girl?
We've had one shot, guys.
Oh
Anyway,
my god.
Anyway, well, as you guys have been bonding with your horses, Mistrix is kind of throwing on the last little bit of her show, as you will, for her ritual to be able to read it, and it seems to be a lot more of just the same. Traitor of false hope, don't touch the anchor. And you kind of, as you guys were walking, you do kind of see it kind of sprawled out randomly throughout all of the tunnels and it seems to be like some kind of warning. You're not too sure, is the warnings you're going towards something that's warning against you, or did you come from what is warning against you guys? You're not too sure, but all over the place you just see more and more traitor of false hope, and then don't touch the anchor all over.
I'm gonna turn to Kazim. The anchor, right? Is it specifically locking like a god or something? Or like a demon? Do we even know what's behind whatever is being locked up?
Can I make an
assume.
intelligence roll to figure that out, Karma?
So you actually found it, you found it out when you were doing your research, remember?
No, I don't. That was a couple weeks ago.
Now I'm
and
gonna make
I
you do
forgot
an
to take notes
intelligence
that
check.
day. Yeah, that's fair.
Wrap
I
your
didn't take notes that
trauma-riddled
day,
brain.
and that's on me.
That was
Reminder to take notes, everybody.
It's okay. It's a trauma-riddled brain. It's fine.
Okay, intelligence. You want me to do specifically history or
You could do history.
investigation?
History would be good.
Then that is a 14.
So
Perfect.
you kind of remember bits and pieces about how it seemed Paylor created them to hold something in a different plane of existence, out some form of evil is what you remember.
Oh.
Okay.
You do know that whatever it's holding is locked in the astral sea. You do remember that.
Awesome. I'm gonna relay my information to the party here.
Okay.
So the fucking terrifying thing.
Maybe something else.
But
Although, I mean, if the thing is holding, locking it in the astral sea, is there like no way for it to like come back in a different way? I mean, there's probably plenty of. Actually, it's even like astral sea. Like, what is this place exactly? Does any of us know even?
Kazim would, if he doesn't remember, I will describe it to you guys.
It's like
You've been told like 4 times.
Yeah, it's like a place in between places almost. It's a sea of
realm
nothingness.
between realms.
It's like its own plane of existence. Kind
Maybe
of.
that's why they tampered with the teleporter.
Because they wanted to go to the realm between realms?
Just try and contact their master or let out more of doppelgangers.
So, we keep assuming that they want to let this thing out. And that they're friends with it. What if it's like completely the opposite and they want to let it out and kill it?
Why wouldn't they just go in to kill it, though?
They were
Or-
trying.
Or why wouldn't they want the help?
It seems like
Because just like us, they're assuming we are friends with it. It could be the same kind of thing.
But if Paylor was the one to seal it away,
Yes, but
and they know that the flow, at least as far as Peakbarrow is concerned, are worshippers of Paylor, and they want to
there
kill
are
it.
such things as false idols.
I
Not to like bitch slam your whole thing here, Kazim, but
I feel like we gotta
People
follow
do-
Occam's razor here.
people do worship bad deities as well.
Here we
It's
gotta
kind
follow
of a
Occam's
two-sided
razors here.
coin.
We can't assume that they're doing the rightful thing when clearly all they've been doing is going out of their way to harm others.
Okay, but most most creatures like that are like I am. They're out for their own protection.
then why wouldn't you leave it sealed away? As far as we can see, whatever
It
it
is
is,
more dangerous to them. They would want to find a way to kill it or break the things that people will use against them. It's really
Best
a
case
two-sided coin
scenario,
depending on their
they're-
side of the story.
Best case scenario, what you're describing is they're killing people so that they don't get found out for being doppelgangers. Worst case scenario, they're actively killing people to try to free their god, and anybody that gets in their way dies.
Yes.
either way, whatever.
Either way,
it's-
they're
Either way,
not
it's
great.
not good for us. I know. But I'm saying, like, what if they're going around trying to break all of these things so that they know where the one and only is so that they can keep everybody else from fucking with it?
That's a really now that's a bad plan.
How?
For
You can have all of your beings in one space to defend one object instead of being scattered across the world trying to find and destroy the rest of it.
think about it like this: if a king has,
I'm assuming we're talking and walking at the same time.
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't
if
wanna,
a
like,
king
slow it down.
has 4 mages and he knows all 4 of those mages are perfectly capable of keeping him safe individually,
Mhm.
would he kill 3 of them just to make sure that one of them will be always at his side and the
Will
other
it
3
give-
won't interact with him?
Will it give that one mage their power, though, is the true question.
What?
We don't know
Power-
that's what the anchors do.
Power of control.
We know there are 12
The power
anchors.
of control is a better thing. It said you have to destroy all of the anchors to set this thing free.
So why destroy 11 of them to keep him locked up? Why not keep all 12 of them up?
They
Why
didn't
not put
destroy the
guards
one back
around all
there.
12 of them?
They didn't
Uh,
destroy the one back there.
But-
As
But they
far as we know,
destroyed-
one of
they
them is
just-
destroyed.
Hold on.
Point of
Yes,
point of
Papa.
order. I feel I should describe. You have no idea how many have to be destroyed.
It's a bad
Which is
plan.
why I assume destroying all of them.
No, he doesn't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But they also didn't destroy the one that was back there. If
We know
they have
one
already
of them
been
is
there.
But they
destroyed.
broke the one in River's Run.
They did break it. Well, of course, when we assume that the wrong thingies aren't the actual anchors.
And they broke the teleporter with another bit of rosemary quartz.
Okay.
They're actively harming members of the community as well as the flow. We can't assume they're the good guys because I mean it just doesn't make sense.
Yes,
They're-
but we also can't assume that we're the good guys.
I'm not assuming we're the good guys. I'm just doing what I'm told right now, and I'm doing it for coin. Let's.
Oh, that is such
right.
a good thing to hear, right?
Okay, let's.
Me, outside of character, I want to know what you're fucking. No, I can't.
Best case scenario, they are trying to keep it sealed in, but harming innocent people for their own means. Worst case scenario, they are trying to bring either a god or an entire plane of existence between the
Question.
planes into one place. Both of
did
those things I
they-
don't stand for.
Who did they harm?
Bon, Marcus.
They locked Vaughn up.
us.
Marcus, it didn't seem like Marcus had actually been in like a fight, did it, Karma? I can't remember.
They
Yeah, he
murdered
was slaughtered.
Marcus. What?
They've been
They
murdered.
were-
They murdered
but
Marcus.
It could have been an act of defense.
Then
Well,
why not
we weren't
report it
there,
to the
we don't know.
guards? Why
Because
hide his
they're
body and
doppelgangers.
They
Because
hid his
they're
body and took his place in the church. They tried to mind control Nico. Like,
they're
there's
trying to
no
get
way that
data,
they're.
If they're trying
They're-
to get data, they
This is
can
a
do
terrible way to go about it. They're
Miss
actively
Rex?
luring
Nobody
us
said
out.
they were smart, Dipweasel.
Miss Rex,
They're
I-
either not smart and incredibly dangerous because they're being dumb about how they're trying to save the world.
Any way it goes, you
Or
all are
They're incredibly
misconstruing what I'm
intelligent.
trying to explain.
Didn't they kill Silas's family? Didn't that just happen?
they did do that, yeah.
Yeah.
They
We
were
can't assume they're the good guys here.
Miss
Okay.
Rex, I have touched it. I
Yes.
have seen what it does
And it drove you, a normal being, insane.
because of what was in it, which they are trying to let out.
Who says they're actually trying to let it out, though?
I'm
Them,
saying
they're
That's
using
why
mind
I'm
control to let it out.
So, okay, we know that there was a doppelganger that looked like me that went to the flow and destroyed one of these anchors.
Are we
The
sure it was an anchor? We don't know what the anchors actually
Okay.
are.
Then they, to be specific, they destroyed the teleporter for funsies. They
join
thrashed
the
my
local
room in the
theatrical
flow for funsies. What did they
Okay.
framed me for a crime for funsies? Like this
Because
isn't.
you were on their trail.
So, what did my people do to them?
Why would an innocent
Your
person
people-
sabotage people investigating them?
One
That's not an
person
innocent
versus
thing to
person
do.
And an argument is not very crucial right now. You're both yelling at me, and I can't even fucking talk.
Oh,
Thank you.
boy. Oh boy.
I'm just gonna walk away from them and walk ahead of them because they're both yelling at me and I don't appreciate it. Instead of trying to understand calmly and rationally what I'm trying to explain.
Okay. Well, While you guys are-
Why did we fucking get sent out to do this? We are not qualified at all. There's way better people who should have been sent on this. Why? This is going to
I'm here
shit
for
all of
personal
us.
reasons, and I will be completely clear about that. I'm here to avenge my people, and I'm here to kill the person that killed my wife. The rest of you, if you want, you can go home, but I'm continuing until these doppelgangers are dead.
It's my fucking job to do this. You guys had your chance to back out before we came down here.
I mean, yes, of course, we're not gonna back out now. I'm just asking if this is so important, why just fucking sending random 4 people out to do this instead of, trusted, qualified people with the skills necessary to do this?
Because
I
those
would like
people
to
are trying
point
to
out-
protect the entire town.
I would like to point out I still have the backpack with the sphere in it.
Yeah, yes, you do.
What a terrifying thing to point out.
And I am the one, like, 200 yards in front of you guys, ignoring your conversation.
You're all
200 yards?
Yeah, she went off.
I
while
told you,
guys-
I went off in front of you guys
Yards.
because
Well, how much is a
being
yard?
yelled.
Yard is
You
3
can still
feet.
see
So
me.
Oh, okay.
You can still see me. I'm on a horse. You're on a horse. We're on a trail. You're fine. We're
yeah,
fine.
it's the cavern. The cave is pretty large, so you guys are able to still see.
But there was light.
I assume that you have a light on you as well, so you see the dot kind of in front. While you guys are walking, could someone roll another d20 for me?
I'll do it if no one else wants to.
I don't think you want my
I
luck
wanna
on
try.
this.
I want to try, actually.
Alright, go for it.
Let's see.
The struggle noise.
You can roll. You can roll.
Nope, too late. I already heard it drop. What's up? What's up?
What'd you get,
What we got?
Nico?
It's a 1.
Oh,
Yes!
oh no.
Kill the cat! Squish her with a boulder. Let's go.
I mean, this is just an event, I am sure.
Will everyone
So if
roll
we
for
all die, do we
perception?
have
Those
to-
natural ones don't build, usually
Oh shit, we
well.
all have to take a drink. It was a nat 1.
It was. Everyone drink.
Oh, that's right.
All except for Karma. Let's go.
Hey.
Now, if everyone could please roll for perception.
Oh.
Give me a
Karma-
second. I need
Blue or red?
Huh?
Blue or red?
Blue.
Blue.
Oh, that's
So-
beautiful.
22.
That's-
Okay.
That went down the wrong hole.
Dirty 20.
19.
Rain.
Okay, so all of you start kind of hearing this, for lack of a better term, skittering. Just
Oh no.
sounds like
Oh, no.
coming back from the way that you guys came. See, y'all in the back could probably, you're gauging best that you can. You'd probably say it's not close, but as you kind of sit there and listen and continue walking, you all can definitely tell it's getting closer, whatever it is. Sounds like just this multiple kind of little ticks. Sounds like a bunch of very small feet or something, kind of very quickly beginning to get closer.
Oh, no.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna shout out to Mistrix and say you might want to back up with us.
We fucking
So
run
you
towards
want me
it?
It's
carrying?
behind us. No, it's behind us.
It's behind
Oh, it's behind us?
Yeah.
You want me carrying the dangerous thing to come back to the dramatic area?
I'm just gonna look at Kazim and ask, run?
Right.
I'm hopping on Artemis and I'm galloping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we run.
I would like to say
use
I've
an
been
action
bonding
to
with my
cast,
horse while I'm
false
away.
life on myself,
Absolutely
just in
not.
case.
We Mistrix, real quick, will you roll me a animal handling?
Okay.
While
Apparently
you've been bonding.
Yes, with my animal away from you guys, because fuck you guys. At least the animal listens. 21.
Okay.
I killed
So
my people.
obviously you've been doing.
Why are we good with animals?
We
We're bad
don't
with
need
each
to go
other,
back
but we're
into this
good with
argument.
animals.
That's all right. So as you herding, kind of bonding and stroking the mane of your horse and becoming quite good friends, you hear behind you very loud gallops running towards you. And as you turn behind, you just hear Silas and run as they start kind of going past you. You're gonna start running with them.
Hold on. I'll trot.
Okay, so you kind of pick up the pace a little bit as you're going down, almost to be sarcastic, but then you start hearing the skittering, the hundreds of little feet running faster and faster and faster. And, it starts concerning you as you hear it getting closer, but with your dark vision as you turn around, coming around the last corner that you guys saw, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 giant spiders running towards you guys.
Oh, the resistance! I have to not pet them.
What?
Don't pet evil spiders.
Yeah, you
Don't
see
do
a
it.
bunch of giant cave spiders running towards you guys. Almost maybe the conversations in which you guys have been having in this small cave have been kind of
So hear
loud.
me out.
Yeah.
So hear me out. Can I inspire my horse with my bardic charisma to run faster than their horses?
What do you say to inspire it?
I tell it, you are. Let's see. I don't remember the name of the horse god. There is a horse god though, but I will tell it it is a descendant of this horse god, and that it has the speed and courage of 8,000 dragons.
I would
And it
say
needs to get ahead of them.
after bonding with it, it can't understand you but can feel the power in your words.
Yeah.
And yes, I will say it is inspired as you guys start galloping. So you guys are all running down these hills. I guess we'll go into initiative if we want to, but if you guys are just going to keep running, we can just keep trying to do that the entire time.
I'm just gonna. We are not in a position where we can take a fight.
No,
Okay, so
no.
I'm probably the weakest of us, actually. So
As you guys are kind of running as fast as you can down these caves, faster and faster, purple crystals are starting to go a little bit lighter to blue, faster and faster and faster. You're going past broken camps and these dead bodies strewn about. You see broken mine carts, and all of you guys, please make animal handling for me.
All right.
No,
I'm gonna-
Being that you're all bonded, I'll give you all advantage because I think that's fun.
Oh, thank God. That was a 5.
I rolled a natural 1 and a dirty 13.
Well, that's still a natural one, so y'all got to drink. But
Oh, for fuck's sake.
dirty 13,
Even on advantage.
yeah, it's a nat one.
Fuck's sake.
Just keep in mind when there's those 20s. When y'all start
I got
getting
another
20s.
21. So
I got a 16.
Okay, so
Natural 20 for a total of 21.
Oh,
Fuck you.
Oh my
You
Take your
fine.
drink, Karma.
fuck
I
yeah.
got a
you,
19.
Karma.
I got a 19 though. Almost there. Almost there.
All right,
Unnatural 21.
so you guys are running down this corridor, and it seems to be that Mistrix is kind of pulling out ahead of you guys just a little bit, and followed by you've got Nico behind you and Silas, and you turn around, Silas, and you see that Kazim is beginning to fall back just a little bit as he gets closer and closer. Will you guys please make another animal handling for me?
Oh my god, okay.
I'm gonna yell at him. Theme, get your ass up here, bird.
With advantage again?
Oh, cool.
16.
18.
17.
Unnatural 20. I like the red die.
Okay. So you guys, as you're running even further and further, you see that this trail that you're on that was kind of a small tunnel that you guys were able to kind of gallop through, and the spiders are still coming after you. You guys are able to make some ground off of these spiders, but all of a sudden, that trail that you're on spreads wide open to this huge cavern, purple and pink crystals all over the place. You look down and you can see right over the cliffs, and it's dark down there. You have no idea what's down there. You see little bits of glowing crystals all the way down there. Is this beautiful cavern, and all of a sudden you guys turn around behind you and you see even more spiders starting to climb up the walls past you guys, almost skittering on, spreading out all over these walls out this hole. It's horrifying. And ahead of you, you guys see this gate that is closed for right now, and you see two people standing there. Kazim, you immediately realize that they're wearing garbs of the light. You guys are running towards this closed gate. Nothing seems to be happening. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm not focusing.
Sorry, how far away are these guys?
You'd say the gate that you guys just saw with the torches and stuff is probably about 200 feet away. You guys are getting there quickly. Just on the other side of this cavern.
Oh, there's a massive fucking hole in front of us, so we got.
No,
200 feet to go.
you're on a
No,
bridge,
yeah.
and around
Oh,
you is just
okay.
cliffs, just deep.
Okay.
Are they friend or foe?
They're my people.
Boss man, can I dissonant whispers the spiders?
Okay, there is 12. Which one would you like to dissonant whisper?
Look it, the second one.
Okay, go ahead. So it rolls for wisdom, right?
Yes. And it's gonna be second
Okay,
level, by the way.
that's a 10. Go ahead and roll whatever
Okay.
damage.
It's 46, so give me a second. 4, 6. Okay. 30, 40, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19?
Okay, so you see it kind of drop a little bit as one leg kind of goes off the side. You see that it can't actually, you know what? It's going to do. Yeah, it can't keep its balance, and it just kind of falls off into the edge. And you see one kind of climbing up the side of the bridge, climbing closer to you guys. And you look in front, and you see that the what?
When I look at all the crystals on the ceiling, do any of them look particularly loose?
Oh.
I'd say. Let me actually. I'm not gonna let you do a check because this would be happening too quickly. So off of your passive, I would say maybe one right by the entrance is kind of loose. It's really high up. It's about 60 feet up from where you guys are.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of hoping to cause a bit of a chain reaction here, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be enough to do it.
you guys all start hearing, halt, open the gate, and you see them all kind of running inside, but it looks like they might start closing it before you guys end up getting there.
I'm gonna
wide is
make
the
sure that Kazim is in front of me at this point because we need to make sure he gets there. He's our.
How was
He's
the
our
bridge
handler.
secured, by the way?
How is the what secure?
The bridge.
door.
So
We're on the bridge, right?
yeah, so it's kind of a bridge. It's more of like a rock bridge. It's just this kind of
Okay.
this large tunnel of rock that seems to be flattened for the most part. It's about 15 to 20 feet wide, but even with those cliffs, it still feels very narrow.
Okay, cool.
Kazim, what are you doing?
They're 200 feet away from me.
They're about 100 feet now.
I'm gonna shout to them, hold the gate.
So you see it's still kind of closing. They obviously don't recognize you. Maybe they can't see you while you're on horseback. Do you do anything to signal that you are from them?
I have a plan.
Do you have a plan?
Yes, I actually do. I just don't know if it's a good plan.
You have one
Might as
shot.
well we fucking try it.
I've got a backup plan if you need it. But it's not a good one either. But
Karma, would you say I could use my channel divinity to make a large symbol of Palor in the sky?
What is your channel divinity?
Preserve life and turn undead.
So I don't know how you'd make a big symbol of Palor.
Well, let's say I was to use my preserve life. Would that show off like a glowing symbol of Palor
Okay,
to heal,
I can-
glowing light?
I can kind of see that. I think I'll let that happen. All of you.
I'm not talking about like a skywriting spell. But
Yeah, I see what you mean. As if like Palor light would kind of be shining through you and through your hands, and almost try and make some kind of show that you are from the light. I assume that maybe you yell out, "For Palor, open the gate" or something, rather than just kind of sitting there and hoping they're gonna read your voiceless
Yeah.
messages for some reason. But you guys are running down. All of you make animal handling
No, no.
with advantage one last time.
And this is probably the time that I roll badly.
that's a 17 and a nat 20.
Not 20.
Nice.
Take a sip, Karma.
Unnatural. 19.
Yeah, dirty.
Oh, Artemis, I love you. Never
I got a
leave me.
23 if it matters.
This horse lives to the end, even if I don't.
Yeah, we'll see.
I will.
Oh, wow.
I will have my next 3 characters like loyal to the god of horses.
Okay.
I've got 3 clerics ready.
So, you guys are all running down. They kind of start holding the gate after they see Kazim burst out this beam, like almost like golden armor as he's coming out, and you see his guardian emblem on his chest begins to kind of light up even more, shining this whole cavern up. You're seeing hundreds of thousands of crystals all over the walls, and as you guys kind of look around, you see that there's a lot more of spiders around you. It seems that they've been kind of hibernation. You see bats flying across you as you run as fast as you can through this gate, and as soon as who's in back?
Me.
Silas, is he's kind of turning back and making sure that the spiders aren't going to get any closer. He kind of runs through, and go ahead and make an attack for me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that's not as good. That's a 14, I think. Yes, 14.
As Silas kind of runs through the gate, you see him kind of pull out his glaive, and he slashes down on the rope that's next to it, and the entire gate just kind of falls down, and you hear the spiders still kind of crawling and skittering around on the other side of the wall. But you guys are able to kind of stop as the guards start kind of calling after you. Halt! Halt! You guys
I
are
would stop.
okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull to a halt.
I mean, sure, whatever. Let's
Our
not-
horses need a break, if anything.
Okay, so as you guys kind of start slowing down, you look around you, and you do see that you're in this kind of a little bit less dingy, more well-preserved mine of some kind. You see that the walls are covered in these pink and purple, and also some blues in there that seems like a little bit more rich in minerals and stuff like that. You see torches all across it, and you see that there are wooden supports to keep this up. It looks like a more legitimate mine. You see mine carts kind of going through. It's large and grand, and you can see where they're carving pillars out, perhaps to add expansions onto the city or whatnot. And you look back at the gate towards the guards that are yelling at you, and you see 2 dwarves wearing the same kind of clerical garb that Kazim is, with the son of the image of Palor, which pretty much looks like a sun, kind of around. It's red with the white robe, and you see that there's like this black trim around it. They all kind of have extra steel pauldrons and also some steel greaves on the bottom. They're maybe about like 4 feet tall. They seem pretty big. They've got their long bushy beards and stuff like that as they hold up their spears as you state your business.
Trying to gain access to Peakbarrow.
They kind of take a look at you and goes, "Ah, a brother of the church. Interesting path you decided to take."
You know how it is. Teleporters down. We're on a time crunch here.
Teleport? I didn't know about. Do you know they can teleport? I think that would be
You guys probably aren't high enough stations to know about the teleport. Anyway, we got to get through.
Official business and such.
All right, well, when you get up there, could you let the foreman know that we are going to need some supports down here to help get rid of these spider problems so that we can clear this path back open?
Of course. What's the foreman's name?
Give me 1 second. I actually do have a name for him. I just got to make sure it's written down.
I'm gonna say Roswell.
No. Where the hell did I put it? There we go. Where is it? There it is. His name is Dradal, which Kazim you do recognize as someone you might know.
Jadal?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say to these guys, I'll be sure to let him know, and we'll have reinforcements help you out in just a minute.
Thank you. They kind of go back as they're kind of trying to peek through the wooden bars of this gate, trying to see through and look how crazy it might be, because they looked terrified when they saw those spiders start kind of going out. So you guys are in this kind of more kind of fully put together mine. You're seeing a bunch of different miners on either side, kind of stripping away some of the gems. You're seeing rail carts in the middle filled to the brim with these kind of beautiful pink and purples and blues and red stones that are all kind of going up and down 2 different sets of mine carts up to the entrance. You see, as you're walking down towards the entrance, that there's a bunch of these. A couple people are giving you kind of weird looks as you're walking around. You know, people just going through the mine that they didn't see go through earlier on horses going through. That's a little weird. They've never seen anyone come this way, especially on horseback. But it's going to take you guys about 30 to 45-ish minutes to be able to get all the way out of this mine. Are you going to try and do anything on your way out?
I want to know how they react to my type of species.
So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
16?
So, as you're kind of looking around, you see that a lot of people seem very confused, but you also see there are quite a few people that are taking a look at you, and they are kind of like pointing and whispering, kind of like you can't really hear anything, but it seems very like, what is that? Have you seen that before? And as you guys are kind of going up to the entrance of the mine, no one seems like scared that you guys are. Everyone just seems very confused by your guys' existence and being here. That no one seems like angry or malicious towards you guys. There's all just kind of like, what is happening here? Are you using these people? On a horse in a cave? What are you doing? But as you guys kind of get to the front, it opens up. You see the light, and you see that the mouth of this mine is much wider and kind of sprawls out. You'd say a good 150 feet all the way across for the opening of this mine. You see it goes straight up, and it's very beautifully carved out. You're seeing a bunch of dwarven kind of architecture all over the place in the side of this kind of mountain, essentially. You guys are in very clearly in between these kind of 2 giant mountains in this kind of ravine. As you walk out, you're seeing people bringing up ores and stuff from the mine that they've been working on and smelting it down and putting bars together. It's not the biggest operation, but it's bigger than any of you have seen, except for Kazim, because he's seen this before. But it's definitely the biggest operation of mining and smelting that you've seen. There's at least 30 to 40, maybe even 50 people kind of all around you, bustling, working on different kinds of metals and working on grading these kind of gems or crystals and getting them ready to kind of ship out to other people that might be looking for them. Kazim, as you're walking around, you see a kind of younger dwarf that looks very familiar to you, as he's maybe 3'6". It looks like he's about the same age as you, so he's a lot younger. He's got a little bit of stubble coming out, not a full-blown beard, but you see him kind of having seems he's got what you would remember as the miner's garb, as like maybe a supervisor of some kind and stuff like that, because most of the miners are wearing some kind of uniform just to kind of be able to easily recognize them with all the dirt and crap on their face. And you walk up, and it's a friend of yours named Dradal. You'd say he's about 15, I want to say. You remember him as a child. And he kind of turns around and goes, "Ha! Well, I didn't expect to see you anytime soon. What, why are you coming through there?"
It's a long story. I'll tell you over a drink later.
"Your wing's broken, Kazim? Get down here, come on."
I'll go in and give him a firm handshake.
All right, so you guys I'll see kind of this large Aarakocra walk over to this small dwarf, give him a very firm handshake. They very clearly know each other in some way, and goes, "But seriously, why are you guys bringing horses through how did you even get down there with those? We never would have let you past."
It's we took a unconventional entrance, to be sure, but we're on a. I'd love to sit and chat some more, but we're unfortunately on a time crunch.
Yeah, well, you know where to find me. Just meet me over at Pop's shop. We'll go over and get over to the bar across the street and get some drinks.
Did you say Jidal or Dradal?
Dradal.
So this is the foreman?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to clue them in that they need some more help down in the tunnel.
Goddamn spiders. All right. And he kind of turns around and goes, "Zeke, orphans, go on. They're going to need you over at the other entrance." And you see him kind of all look a little bit scared. They kind of pick up, you see one of them pick up like a barrel lid, and one would kind of pick up a very heavy hammer, as it looks like they're ready for war, but they're not too sure. But they start kind of walking down what little bits and pieces that they can.
These poor men.
As you kind of walk out of the mine entrance, all of a sudden the light kind of almost blinds you guys for a second, as you kind of look over at these beautiful dwarven kind of copper stone buildings kind of dug into the side of this building. And as you the sun kind of evens out and you're able to actually see, you see that higher and higher that it goes from this stone and copper look to this beautiful like white and gold kind of different, almost completely different architecture much higher up. And off to the eastern side, you see on the other mountain on the other side of the mine that there's this very large, obviously church with a huge tower that kind of spirals up to the top above the peak, which Kazim, you know, is where the library is. You see that look around the cobblestone around you guys are very, around this area, murky. This maybe not be the best, but obviously there's a lot of work that's being done here. But you see that there's many different levels of just businesses and homes. It's beautiful all over the place. Very clearly two different styles, but what do you guys want to do?
I mean, our mission is to just get through this as soon as possible to get Peakbarrow, right? We shouldn't be stopping here.
This is Peakbarrow, right?
Yeah,
Karma?
Yeah, this is Peakbarrow.
Oh, this is Peakbarrow.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
I thought it was
Yeah.
an entirely different place. Okay.
No, this is where, Kazim, you're sure this is Peakbarrow.
Yeah. I want to go to the library, just solo, and report my findings to my superior, I guess.
So you're breaking up with these guys?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say to the group here, hey, I've got to go take care of something in the library. Hang tight, I'll only be a few minutes.
In which case, I'm gonna sort of look around for a park or a tavern somewhere where I can just sort of loiter.
Totally.
Actually,
Tavern.
no, fuck that. Change my mind. I'm looking for a church or some kind of temple where several gods,
He
not
wants
just
to get married to his horse.
yeah. I'm looking for a place of worship.
Okay, so while you're doing that, we're going to start with Kazim for right now. So you walk down these familiar steps of the Dwarven District, which you are quite very familiar with. You kind of grew up here for most of your life, running through these streets, and memories begin to kind of flood back of warmth and stuff like that. As you are kind of walking up just past towards the Sky District, you see that a lot more less dwarves are kind of around, but a lot more Aarakocra kind of pop up, and a lot more of the people wearing the light kind of garbs are around, and you hear a voice behind you going, Kazim? Is that you?
I'll turn around to see who it is.
All right, so you turn around, and in the same kind of like dress and garb as the dwarves in the mine, with the kind of the flow garbs and the armor on top, you see a guard that is very familiar. It's a younger Aarakocra, exactly the same age as you, and you know him as Sadir.
Sadir or Sarid?
Sarid, that's right, Sarid.
Sarid, my man, what's going on?
Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you. I haven't seen you in like all week. We were supposed to go get drinks, I thought.
I've been gone well over like 3 weeks now, and you just noticed I was gone?
I mean, you know how I've been, okay? Well, so I don't know where you go. How you were out going for the church, right? For doing something. You told me something about Rivers Run or something like that. They needed your help.
Yeah, I was down in Rivers Run. I'm actually still on that assignment.
Oh,
it's taking a left turn, believe it or not.
that's where okay. Well, hey, I've got to kind of keep doing my patrols, but me and Dradal, we're probably gonna get drinks after work. You got to come hang out, man. You got to come see us.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So he kind of comes
Anyway,
over, gives you a big old hug as you kind of start walking back.
I'm just gonna stand super stiff-armed in the hug. I'm not hugging him back at all.
Okay. Interesting.
Fuck this guy. Honestly. Looking for you all week. It took me 2 weeks to get to Rivers Run at least.
Oh.
We didn't notice you were gone for a hot minute.
No, he did not.
But see what it is, because we got
For
promoted.
real.
We got promoted to scribe, so it's been having fun with the teleporter. Forgot all about you.
Yeah. I'm too important now. That's all it is.
Totally.
Oh my
So
god.
you continue your walk as you kind of stiff arm this kid for forgetting much about you, but you continue on your way towards the church, and ahead of you is the entrance. It's the large, grand, almost completely golden doors on this white stone temple. You look above and you see that there's the large sun idol of Pelor in stained glass right above the entrance of this church. And as you kind of open it up, it opens to this beautiful grand hall of maybe like 80 feet by 80 feet, kind of deep. There's beautiful tile and kind of where you see the little depictions of Pelor's light kind of all over the place. The beautiful lights are coming in from all the different stained glass and showing you the different kinds of magic there is in light throughout. And you see what looks to be the kind of main kind of receptionist area, and behind it is this beautiful spiral staircase that kind of starts climbing up to the different levels and stuff, in which you remember goes all the way up towards the observation tower above you. And where are you going? So there's, as you remember, there's many different kind of places that you can go. You can go straight towards what is kind of the council room, where you know that the Sunbeam kind of spends a lot of his time being kind of delegating over things. There's also kind of over to your right, where you know there's lodging and kind of other chapels and stuff. We're able to kind of go get some peace and quiet as you speak to Pelor. On the other side, you see, again, much more barren library compared to the flow. But you see other kind of mural arts and depictions of different kind of visions of Pelor all over the place. What are we doing?
I'm gonna go talk to the Sunbeam and report my findings.
Okay, so you make it to the back and you open up the entrance to the council room, and with this beautiful like 60-foot high ceilings and this beautiful arc in this temple, you see that it again looks more like a church than it does any kind of boardroom. But you do see that there are large kind of tables for everyone to kind of meet around and hang out, essentially, and have their meals in the presence of the Sunbeam. And as you open up, you see a dwarf that you do remember. He's much, much older. He's got the long gray beard, and he's wearing much more beautiful and ornate kind of gold trim all over the place. The sun on the chest of his robes are completely gold. He's got deep red robes that are the base of this. As he stands there with this kind of headband almost with a large symbol of Pelor in the front, the beautiful tribal sun. He's sitting there and writing down something and talking to one of his advisors, and looks over, and with your insight, you kind of notice that seems shocked to see you. He goes, I believe we sent you out somewhere back already. That was quite fast.
Job's not done, it's just moved.
Well, please, what brings you back to the light of Pelor?
I have reason to believe that the purple eyes phenomenon that we've been noticing in River's Run is caused by mind control from doppelgangers from the Astral Sea, and there's also a doppelganger on the way here. Stay with me here. It sounds insane. We've got a problem heading this way.
You're telling me that there was a problems in River's Run, and you decided to bring it here? Ha!
It was on its way already. We just beat it here.
What kind of evil could you be talking about? What kind of trouble could we possibly be in?
Do you know about doppelgangers?
Of course I do. They are the bane to Pelor's existence. There's no way they could possibly penetrate our walls.
I've killed 2 in River's Run, and I know of 1 more on its way here.
River's Run doesn't follow the same path in which we do. Pelor would not abandon us, and our strength and our numbers will protect us easily. You come here bearing stories of children and telling me that was a reason to abandon your post?
Not abandon. There's investigations I need to do in the mines
Your
here.
job is
I
to
didn't
be a
abandon
scout
my
and to
post.
report back to us. It's not to come back yourself.
I am. What's the point of? How would I get information back to you while I'm scouting? There's still more to scout. There's more to do, and more to do down in the mines right now. I'm going back to River's Run as soon as I figure this out. I've got more to talk to the Archmage out there.
And you don't feel that perhaps sending a messenger would have been easier than abandoning your post?
Zwendal, come on, man. Like, don't be like this.
You dare refer to me in such informal way? Have you forgotten your manners already, dear child? Perhaps Terran will need to speak to you.
Fucking come on, man. I'm fucking doing my job, and you're just getting all up in my grill and shit. I don't.
Are you saying this out loud?
No. I'm saying it like halfway under my breath so he can't hear it. I'm like, fuck.
Like,
Oh my god!
come on, man.
You see,
I don't have the balls to do it in front of this guy. Archie doesn't know me. This guy knows me.
so as you're kind of walking out, you're seeing one of the scribes that was kind of sitting next to him kind of running over to a very familiar older Aarakocra that's kind of got more dark brown kind of feathers. He's got much more yellow eyes and a beautiful kind of orange beak. You know this man as Terran, your mentor, and you see the scribe kind of walk over and kind of whisper something to him and kind of point over at you, and you see his eyes kind of widen. He kind of walks over and goes, "Kazim, what are you thinking? You can't show disrespect to the Sunbeam. That's like spitting in the face of Pelor himself. Have you forgotten yourself? You've been gone for 3 weeks, and this is how you come back?"
Can we talk somewhere else, Terran? Not right now.
I think that might be best. Let's go. And he starts kind of leading you towards where, there's kind of like private classrooms and stuff like that for teaching different kind of abilities and stuff. You know that they are kind of soundproof because they teach different kind of prayers at the same time because that's going on a lot in this church. He opens one and goes, "Well, I first of all, it's wonderful to see you back in good health, but I must say I am quite confused as to why are you back so quickly?"
I'm still on the mission. It's just moved here, and there's more to be done in Rivers Run and down here in the mines. And fucking Swindoll's being an ass about this.
Well, mind you, he is the Sunbeam. His word is law. Now, what do you think bringing yourself here was worth? Let me ask you, what brings you here that wasn't worth a messenger?
I don't know who I can trust, and I don't know that the messenger wouldn't be killed immediately as soon as I sent him. We are in an incredibly terrifying position in Rivers Run, where we don't know who we can trust, and anybody at any time could be mind controlled using rosemary quartz that we mined here ourselves.
I don't. Rosemary, what on earth are you talking of, Kazim? I don't understand.
There are doppelgangers in Rivers Run that are using magic from the
Doppelgangers?
Astral Sea. Yes, doppelgangers. Pay attention, Taryn. Come on, I was just screaming at Zwendal about this. Come on, man.
Kazim.
Don't look at me like that. Come on.
You've been gone for 3 weeks, and you show such disrespect to your authority.
I've seen a lot of shit, man. I've got to be honest. I've seen a lot of shit.
I believe we all have, sir. Now,
I walked through a door,
and he kind of stands up,
and he kind of
stands up in front of you, and looks you in the eye and goes, "You can either show respect, or you can leave."
Fine.
Okay. Now, you speak of doppelgangers. Where did you learn from about doppelgangers?
From killing them with my own crossbow.
Are you sure that it was a doppelganger and perhaps maybe some illusion?
100% sure it was a doppelganger. Yeah, it knocked me the fuck out.
Roll for persuasion.
That is a natural 15 plus persuasion is a 1, so 16.
Well, okay. I feel I must ask, do you have any proof to be able to tell other people about this? Because I understand that what you saw, you seem to genuinely believe, but do you have any form of proof?
Would the Archmage himself being an eyewitness be proof enough for you?
Our relationship with Rivers Run is not as cozy as some might think. They are not what we would call expert scholars in our mind. And speaking of doppelgangers, understand, Kazim, doppelgangers are the stuff of children's tales. They are meant to scare bad children.
Saren, look me dead in the eyes right now. Right now. If you see somebody with purple eyes, purple irises, or pupils, capture them, put them in holding. They're either a doppelganger or they're being mind controlled. There's a doppelganger on his way here as we speak. That is why I'm here, to warn you. They infiltrated Rivers Run. They infiltrated the flow without anybody noticing.
You of all people,
Nobody noticed.
Kazim, know that it is nigh impossible to invade the Church of the Light. Palor protects us, Kazim. Doppelganger or no, I understand what you saw must be traumatic, obviously. But to think that we might be so meager and weak that Palor would abandon us as such.
I'm not calling you weak. I'm not saying Palor's gonna abandon you, but maybe this is a test by Palor. You ever think of that? Like, maybe he wants to see how you guys can handle yourselves, especially if you're calling a genuine threat a children's tale. Maybe he doesn't have faith in you.
He kind of stands up and begins to walk towards the door, opens it and looks at you and goes, "Perhaps it was a test from Paylor to see if you could follow orders or not, and it appears in which you have failed."
I'm still following orders. This is still the mission.
You were told to report back to us. You could have sent messengers, but now
A messenger would have been killed
if
immediately.
these doppelgangers are real, in which you say that they were running around Rivers Run, you've left Rivers Run completely defenseless. You come back with zero proof or physical proof that these are exist, and you expect us to rally ourselves together against a enemy in which might not be real?
I haven't left Rivers Run defenseless. They know what they're up against. They know what they're fighting, and they have the tools to do it now. Now that they know that the threat is real and how to handle it.
So what
and
was
I'm
the
trying
point
to
of
give you guys the same chance?
What was the point when we are vastly more capable than those of that town? Mountains on both sides, nigh impossible for counterattacks. We have the guard, not to mention the rays, easily.
All right, if you guys have so much faith in yourselves, Paylor guide you, I guess. Fucking dickhead. I say that last part under my breath, but the first part definitely out loud. Yeah.
Hold on. So you said it under your breath, yeah?
Yeah, the fucking dickhead is
Okay.
under my breath, but
So-
the Paylor guys use not.
Have you abandoned the path of Paylor already?
Of course not. Come on, man.
You would never
You're just
speak. You would never dare speak to those of higher authority in such a way. You've shown yourself nothing but immature as you've returned.
I'm 6.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
In his defense, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
For chat, Eric Coker's only lived to be like 30. 6 is like teenager here going on.
I'm just over here like, you know, you had proof. You had proof, but you had to go by yourself and be the big guy.
We don't have proof. Nothing that they wouldn't just
We
wave
have an
off.
anchor.
They're just gonna wave it off as a broken crystal. It doesn't glow anymore.
No.
The rock in my bag.
That doesn't prove doppelgangers.
Okay.
It proves my
Okay.
control.
So, as you blurt out, he goes, "Perhaps it was too soon to send you on your own. You're relieved of your duties." And he kind of motions you to be out.
It was just
I'm-
15 years from retirement.
I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna go
Okay.
find the group.
Okay. As you're walking out, he kind of goes off to you and kind of quickly tries to run up and goes, "When you feel that you are able to see the
I'm
light
gonna
once
stop him.
more."
Shut up, Saren.
You kind of see him stop there, and
Oh no.
with your perception, you can easily tell that he is visibly hurt. And he goes, "How can you speak to me like that, Thalden?" And he's
You're not taking me seriously, man. Like,
go, as he starts kind of walking away.
I'm gonna flip him the bird as I walk away.
You are, bird.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I am.
Pun was not
very-
intended, but
Oh.
He pays no mind to you whatsoever. Kazim, the phrase Thalden, for some reason, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
ooh, that's Constitution?
Yeah.
That is a 5.
Take 3 psychic damage.
Oh no.
Ah,
That's it. For some reason, when you heard it, this kind of migraine started coming and ringing in your ear for some reason at the word Thalden. You have no idea what that is. You've never heard it before. But it gives you a minor headache as you begin to kind of walk out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go meet up with the group.
All right. While he was doing all of that, you guys were left at the entrance of the mine. As he kind of storms off, and you guys are looking around. What are you guys doing?
Well, I was looking for a place of worship.
All right. So, are you guys all sticking together, or are you guys separating?
I'm separating.
Okay. So we'll start.
Yeah, probably separating.
We'll start with Silas.
I'm gonna follow Silas. Whatever. No, I'm following him. I ain't leaving.
All right. So Silas and Nico, as you kind of, will both of you roll for investigation, or one of you with advantage?
Roll with advantage. Silas.
Got this.
That is a 13.
Okay, it's gonna take you guys quite a little while to be able to really see much of anything. You're a very unfamiliar kind of place, but you do see off to the side of one of the main streets that you're kind of going on. It's a much larger street, right up against a rock wall of one of the mountains, the same mountain that has the mine, and this beautiful kind of iron and stone doors that kind of open up, and you see that there's all kinds of different little monuments of statues to different kind of gods all over the place. It seems like a very grand hall with its own little shrine to each different kind of gods. And you look over and you do see that there's another kind of small hallway that looks like it's kind of freshly made with much more familiar gods to you. It looks like there was a brand newer addition in recent years. It doesn't look nearly as aged as kind of everything else there. I assume you're looking for one in particular?
I'm looking for the 6.
Okay, so it kind of go down this hall a little bit, and you see this kind of own room of itself. It's very roughly kind of etched in there. You see that there was an attempt to try and mix with orcish kind of decorative kind of style a little bit. It's not great. Obviously, they didn't have much source material to go off of, and you haven't seen a single orc the entire time you've been here, but you do see that they at least attempted some form of authenticity to it, and you see that there are 6 beautifully carven stone statues, kind of busts of each of the 6. And Nico, as you're following along with him, you're seeing all kinds of different gods that you didn't even know exist. You see a couple of the main ones that you might have heard of, like Allfather and different kinds of things like that. But yeah, you see Silas kind of go into this room surrounded by these 6 different statues of different kinds of orcs.
Silas, if I might ask, you're a man of religion.
I am. Have been since I was a child. It's never forced upon you being a part of the orc tribe, but my people inherently are very religious, and there are very few orcs who don't worship of their own choice.
What do you worship? I mean, the gods that you worship. I'm sorry, I've just never particularly paid
No,
attention.
it's fine. I worship all 6. I see that each one offers different gifts, some strength, some comfort, some knowledge. Each one hears you when you pray, and if you are lucky, the one you need will answer.
What about the other gods? I mean, it's not like your gods are the gods, right? I mean,
I have called out to other gods in the past. Of course, we know the gods are out there somewhere. You'd be a
they
fool
ever
not
answered
to.
you?
They have not. Whether that's due to my loyalty to the 6 or that I am not ready or unworthy, I do not know, but perhaps one day even Paylor will hear my cries.
I mean, if all of this goes right, who knows?
I truly hope it does.
What are you planning to do here? Are you gonna be praying?
If you would not mind waiting a moment, yes, I
No,
haven't
no, I
prayed since we went home.
I can take care of the course horses outside if you wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to intrude.
I don't mind if you stay or stay outside. That is completely up to you. But
Yeah.
maybe look around, see if there's any gods that take your fancy.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount of religion, not necessarily. But I will take care of your horse while you pray, and I will keep an eye out if any doppelgangers are here after us. Because guess what? They were on the way here, and now we were here too. So
I know. We'll be alright. And if you see anyone that resembles the Archmage, maybe let them know why we're here. I assume this place has an Archmage of their own. I don't know where Kazim went, so for all we know, he's gone to find out if the teleporter's working or to see if we can access the mine.
Alright. Like Nico he'll take his leave. Like we're not at the no, we are at the church or
No, you guys are
temple,
at a
right?
different kind of place of. It seems more of a place of actual worship to different kinds of gods. It doesn't look. It's not the same church that Kazim is at.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stand outside with the horses,
Okay.
and I'll actually keep an eye out on. Well, obviously the doppelganger that we've seen so far, the last at least form that he has taken. Plus, maybe some stands with some nice trinkets or so. Just in general.
Okay. So while you guys are kind of hanging out in this church, Silas, you're doing your mostly worship, and Nico, you're kind of taking care of the horses and glancing around. We're gonna go over to Mistrix. Mistrix, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go find a tavern and play some music.
Okay. Roll for investigation for me.
Investigation. Pull up my stats because I'm a nerd that doesn't remember things. I believe that is a 19.
Okay. Very.
No. Hold on. It is actually 15 plus 7, so
Oh, wow.
20. Yeah.
So easily enough.
I forgot my investigation was that high.
Easy enough. You're able to find two different ones. One's a little bit higher class than the other one in the Sky District, and then there's another one in the Dwarven District. Which one are you going to go to?
I want to go to the one that looks more exotic. Something that I haven't seen before, something that's more eye-catching.
When it comes to eye-catching, you'd probably go to the Sky District, but just because they are a lot more flamboyant with their kind of filigree and very ornate and pretty, and you're not kind of used to the Aarakocra kind of architecture just yet, because you don't have very many. You've seen dwarves 100 times, but you've never really seen Aarakocra.
I'll wear my fancy clothes instead of my costume.
So, you kind of open up this tavern, and it seems to be very kind of quaint. You are kind of looking around, and there's very well carved wooden tables all over the place and beautifully carved chairs. Obviously, there's quite a bit of money within this tavern. And you see that there is kind of a large kind of quartz half circle that you assume is kind of used as like a bar, carved into the actual floor. It looks like almost as if this has been carved out of one solid piece of beautiful marble. So you kind of see an Aarakocra sitting there. He's got his floof kind of on the top there. It's black feathers through the top, perfectly white feathers with some gray tips on each kind of tiny little one. You see almost gradient from pure white head to kind of a gray bottom, sitting there as he's cleaning up a glass of some kind and setting up some other things on the bar, and kind of looks over to you and goes, welcome. Can I help you?
I was wondering if you needed a source of entertainment for the day.
It's pretty slow today, but I mean, I could probably use a little bit of entertainment. How much do you charge?
Well, it's odd to say, but I'm very cheap.
Well, since it's just me, I'll give you a silver to play while I start setting things up for the evening rush.
Mind if we prop the tavern door open? Maybe a passerby can hear and will be interested.
That's a great idea. Let some air kind of in here too. It's getting a bit stuffy. So he kind of walks over and he puts a little rock in front of the door and kind of flicks you your silver coin. As you can, he kind of waves you over to a booth kind of in the corner. Kind of goes, "You can have it. It's all yours for the night if you want." And he sets you up a little tiny stool next to it where you're able to play with your kind of instrument there in a more kind of focal point of the room. So it's kind of like a stage. Obviously, they don't get very many bards in this area.
Yeah.
But yeah. So while you guys are doing that, Kazim, where'd you go after you stormed out?
Honestly, I probably went to go see Marcus.
Okay, so you're heading back down to the Dwarven district, and as you're walking past the mine, you're hearing more of the metalworking and stuff kind of going on, and you go to the blacksmith shop, in which you do recognize. You used to go there quite a bit, and where you got your crossbow, and you see a familiar kind of middle-aged dwarf. If it was in human years, he looks like he's probably about 45 or so, but you know that he's at least 150 because dwarves live for fucking ever. And he's sitting there and he's working away on some kind of hot piece of steel there at his forge. And he sees you kind of walking up as he wipes the sweat from his brow and goes, "Ha ha, that's a familiar face. How you been?"
How you doing, Stormbringer?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself there? Kazim?
Not too bad.
Is crossbow treating you well?
Just fine, thank you.
Hey, I heard you went down to Rivers Run. I forgot to tell you. Did you meet my cousin Tasha?
Yes, we did. Excellent hostess.
Oh, yeah. It runs in the family. Hopefully she didn't get you too drunk though, because I do know that she kind of tops off a little heavy.
Well, nobody can blame her for having a heavy hand there.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you need something?
Actually, yes. Do you got anything in the shop that, I don't know, you're looking to sell? Any more crossbow bolts? I'm running a little low, to be honest.
Crossbow bolt? I got crossbow bolts by the dozen, absolutely. How many you need?
Solid 20, sound good? 24?
Yeah, you can just have them. You're the only person that's really come with a Stormbringer original. I've got to keep you able to be able to use it.
You got anything else in wares that you wouldn't mind,
Well, let's take a look. What you looking for?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Do you have any, as much as I love this crossbow, anything a bit shinier?
Shiny.
You catch my drift?
Well, let old Stormbringer take a look for you. Let's see. You're looking for crossbows? You want hand or regular?
Ooh, let's go. Are regular crossbows still simple weapons?
I think... Are they?
I think they're considered martial.
If they're martial, then hard no. Let me look into it. Heavy crossbows, light crossbows, hand crossbows. Heavy are two-handed. Does not say they're martial.
So I know light crossbow is more simple. So let me see. Let's take a look at a heavy. It's a martial, so you can use light or a hand. Because I'm pretty sure there's a difference between a hand and a light.
Looks like damage and range. That's pretty much the biggest thing. Yeah, do you have any light crossbows in stock?
Let's take a look here. So, and he kind of is looking around and opening up different chests and stuff on a certain side, and he pulls out your crossbow bolts and puts those on the counter so he doesn't forget those. And you see him kind of pulling. He's throwing a bunch of pieces of random metal that he's got stored. You know he's not a very organized kind of person. And he kind of pulls out this one. And he goes, yeah. So I've been working on this one for a little while. it's nothing too special or anything. It's just kind of a nice little upgraded kind of one. A little bit more time taken on it. I've tightened up the string a little bit more. I've made a little bit more better steel for that launch for it, and the trigger's a little bit better. So there's that one. I do have one more you might be interested in. It's a bit pricey. It took a while for us to get it, but and he kind of goes up and he pulls down this other crossbow and he lays it on the table and goes, "So, we've been looking at different ways in which we might be able to speed up the processes of reload. And we figured out this kind of mechanism. It's a little janky right now. It's not perfect. This is kind of still a prototype. I've got one more, so, and being that we've known each other for so long, obviously I'm willing to kind of throw a little bone your way. Maybe you can give me some tests on the prototype here, but what happens is every once in a while, it'll kind of just pull that string back by itself and give you a much quicker, faster shot." And he pulls down this long crossbow. It's obviously light. It's got a hollowed out kind of buttstock on it. Beautiful kind of. It looks silver, but in different lights it looks almost like purple. So it looks like you got patinaed a little bit. And this perfectly woven cord to the back there to this pouch, and you see this weird mechanism on it that it looks like it will probably pull it back every once in a while. It's real complicated and kind of clockworky, and it's an interesting one. I can't really give you specifics about it off the bat, but he kind of goes, "Being that there's only 2 of these and it's still a prototype, I can give it for a little bit cheaper, but I mean, we're gonna need probably about for this upgraded kind of little bit better one. I'll do it 50 gold. That's an easy one. But for this one, oh, I'd love to give you a better discount, but this took a lot of time and a lot of effort. A little bit of finagling to be able to get some parts for it, so I could probably let it go for about 400.
400 GP?
Yeah.
That might be a little out of my price range. I don't know. I have those gems still. Is there any way you appraise gems here?
I'm not too one in the gems, but if you look over just across the way there, you can go ask Meredith. I think she's kind of working there. You might be able to get her to appraise the gems for a little bit. Might want to go check out with her. And he kind of points over, and you see where a bunch of people are bringing from the mines a bunch of the gems over to the people to kind of finish. And you do see that there's one little bit older dwarf that's kind of got those jeweler's eyepiece on it and looking at different crystals and different lights and stuff. And that's the one that he's pointing out.
So let me ask you a question here, mechanically, Karma.
Yeah.
This crossbow, this 400 GP crossbow, would essentially be able to
give you a second shot every once in a while.
Okay.
On a natural 20, it'll shoot a second shot.
Understood. Okay. So that kind of ignores the fact that crossbows typically can only shoot once a turn?
Yes. It'll shoot twice.
Awesome. Oh, the carnage with that.
Yeah.
Just remembering back in the olden days when it had to take a turn to reload.
Yeah, no. This one, it totally skips every action, I should say. You can shoot twice with this crossbow. However, being that it is a prototype, there might be some weird side effects and say you maybe get a natural 1.
So Marcus, this 50 GP one, huh?
Yeah.
Is this just like a +1 crossbow?
Yeah, it's just a +1, a light crossbow.
Honestly, I think I'll take it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. For a dear friend, allow me to kind of give it a finishing touch. You see him bring it back there. You see him kind of pull out a little bit of what looks like it's polishing, kind of shining up the metal a little bit, getting that beautiful wood. And you see him kind of pull out the buttstock, points down the crossbow straight down. He's looking at the buttstock, and he grabs a metal cap as he puts it over the end there, and you see him put his regular stamp that he normally puts on there and goes, every artist needs to sign their work. There you are, sir.
Sure.
50 gold, please.
And I'll hand him 5 platinum.
Oh, beautiful. Easy peasy. Thank you very much. You see him kind of put it underneath. He goes, anything else I can do for you, my friend?
Ooh. Let me think. You got any You got any axes?
Oh,
Great axes, to be specific.
great axes. I thought you were gonna ask for one of Tasha's. I mean, that was a Stormbringer original.
That might be pretty slick. What you got in stock, man?
All right, let's take a look. So he's kind of going back to. You look behind him inside this building that he's got in there. There's just weapon racks upon weapon racks of different kind of things, and you see him kind of grabbing different ones and putting them in this box. He kind of brings it up. He's got 4 or 5 different kind of weapons, and he goes, "Well, you got your basic, a little bit extra, more fine kind of hand axes and great axes. Obviously, not a lot of those, but you seem to be interested in a little bit something extra. I'll show you. This is something I've kind of got that Tasha's been ranting and raving about," and he kind of pulls out a very familiar hand axe that looks exactly like the one that Tasha has, and he puts it down. It's got a beautiful kind of ebony black wood with golden kind of inlays swirl in the middle, and it's got a nice brown leather handle on it that seems to be finished and sealed. And the blade itself, it's kind of got the spike on the one end of it that is this bright, highly polished metal with kind of gold inlay on either side of it. And you see this large kind of crescent blade on the front. It's got a little hole in the back of it. That kind of sits in there just perfectly. You see all these kind of beautiful light. It almost looks like light is emanating from the center of this wood out through the blade somehow. And there's just different kind of geometric, and goes, "Now, I don't know if you've ever been hit with this thing. This is the other one. I did 2, but she only took 1 of them. So this one give you a little bit extra of that righteous retribution, if you understand what I'm saying. It works very well for people of the flow, because they seem to have a little extra oomph to it. I've also got one of these," and he pulls out this large great axe, and he puts it down, and for some reason you can feel like this heat coming off of it, and you look at the top of it and you see this beautiful crimson red gem in the middle of it with these kind of like what looks to be veins almost going through the blade that are like emanating this hot red kind of heat from it. It seems to be almost be pulsing, and he goes, "Now this one, I'm pretty proud of this one. They found one of these beautiful rubies out there, but managed to get an enchanter, throw a little bit of fire essence into it, and for this, you're able to add a little extra bit of that heat in the heat of battle. It hits real hard. Really good."
How much for it?
For which one? For the hot one?
Yeah, the hot one.
All right, so that's a great axe. So let me just make sure I got this right. Okay. Being that, not the most powerful, but it adds a little bit extra something, I could probably let the great axe go. Oh, man. I could do 300.
300 GP?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I understand you're running a business here, Marcus. I've got 15 plat on me. That's pretty much the best I can do.
I am running a business after all. You know that I am, but I'll tell you what. We're gonna take this great axe away. Sorry, but perhaps this hand axe might be able to interest you. I was gonna give it to you for about 225, but you know what? We've known each other for a while. Just to rub it in Tasha's face, if you promise me that you'll go tell her and make her feel bad for not picking this one up, I'll give it to you for the 15 plat.
You got yourself a deal.
Absolutely. So he kind of wraps up and he gives you this. It's a +1 holy hand axe. So it's a +1, and then I'm gonna have to make this one for you as well. It's gonna work a lot like the ice axe essentially, except with holy damage.
Okay.
All right. But hey, it's great to see it. Anything else I can help you with, my friend?
I'm completely sold out, but thanks for the recommendation for the gems.
Hey, absolutely.
If I get some solid cash for them, I might come back.
Hey, we're always glad to have it. Money's always good here, friend. So he kind of goes back to picking up that hot piece of steel out of the forge, hammering it back one more time. Anything else you're gonna do?
Head across the street, I guess.
All right, so you're gonna go over to the gem appraiser.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyone else got anything else they want to do before that?
I'm just praying.
Nico? Oh, Nico
mean-
would like to find something for Freya.
Like a little
Nice.
like gift shop kind of thing.
Yeah, or like maybe like some. Actually, no jewelry. Nah, we're not looking at jewelry at
avoiding
all.
all jewelry. That's fair.
Yes.
So
A toy. Get a toy.
make an investigation check for me.
Oh yeah, maybe even a toy. Let's see. Investigation. This will be a 16 total.
So you're able to kind of walk around. You're seeing a few stores. You see a couple of general stores. You're seeing some woodworking stores. Might have some toys and stuff like that. You also managed to find a couple bookstores and stuff and things of that nature. But if you're looking for toys, your best guess, based on what you can see through some of the windows, is a little store. It's called oh fuck. Let me check my notes. I wrote this down. Hold on.
Also, I apologize for sneezing. I didn't think my mic was on.
We didn't even tell.
Okay, good.
Chisel. Nice little wood store called Chisel and Hammer. So
Okay.
obviously not very creative in the Dwarven district, but you kind of look past it and you see obviously there's some chairs and stuff. It's very beautifully chiseled and stuff like that, hand carved by hand. But one thing that made you want to go into the store is you're seeing this beautiful hand carved boat out of completely wood. You're seeing like all the intricate details that are kind of all over it. So obviously there's some very powerful carver back there, very skilled at the very least. So you kind of walk in. Is that the place that you're going to go into?
Yeah.
So as you walk in, you're seeing all kinds of different little like busts of different kinds of heroes. You're seeing different kinds of god displays. You're seeing all kinds of beautifully polished and carved furniture. And then you also see that there's a section of different kind of like little ornate toys, like little bit of dolls here and there. And you're seeing maybe a little bit of couple farm animals and stuff. You're seeing a whole kinds of different things. And you see this at the far end behind a whole bunch of this different kind of wood, because it's kind of strewn all about. It's filled with different kinds of wooden figurines and stuff. In the far end, you see a workbench where you see this kind of smaller gnomish gentleman, a little bit older. He's got kind of gray mutton chops kind of coming off, and he's got these goggles on with one of them kind of on. You see him kind of frivolously working on something in his hand. You're seeing him kind of looking at different angles and stuff. He kind of notices you for a second, goes, oh, hello. And you see it through the goggles, one eye is much larger than the other one as he's kind of looking at it. He goes, welcome, excuse me. And he kind of hops down from his thing as he walks around the corner, brushing off his apron, and goes, can I help you with something?
Yes, actually, I was looking for a present for a sister of mine.
Oh, well, it's a beautiful place to pick that from. What are we looking for? I've probably got it, or I can make it.
You know, I was walking by actually, and I just saw in the window, it was just, what's a boat or a bow? What's a bow, right? Boat. I just saw this beautiful boat right there by the entrance, and I was wondering if you could tell me the price of it. It's beautifully made.
The boat, that I am proud of that one. That one took at least a good month for me to be able to finish all those tiny intricate details in there. But
a
whole month. It takes beautiful art takes a while. Wood is not that. Here, let me show you. And he kind of quickly walks up to it and climbs up the shelves and stuff and pulls this boat down and climbs down and brings it over to the countertop of which he was working. And he goes, come here, let me show you. And you look, as soon as you kind of come up, you start realizing that not only is the boat details and the wood texture in there for each of the little nails, but you're starting to notice that the barrels have little latches of kind of bronze around it. You're seeing that there's intricate little details in all of this. You even see he kind of lifts up the hatch that would be for the cargo bay, and you're seeing he even carved on the inside of it little figurines that are kind of sitting there. It's a whole different story that's being told in this. And he goes, yeah, it takes a little while, but you take your time, you get something quite beautiful. Now keep in mind, this did take me quite a long time to be able to make, so Let me see.
This is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
How many years have you spent honing your craft?
Let's see. I
This is
started.
beautiful.
I want to say this will be my 3rd decade working in the craft. Yeah, I decided to do it right after I decided to. I ran a little grocers and farm before, but I found this piece of wood and I just couldn't stop whittling. So yeah, it's about my 3rd decade.
It surely does not show whatsoever. This is
Well,
gorgeous.
thank you.
How much would you be willing to part with this for?
Well, I like to go based off the wood, not so much the time in which it did. And, you know, it's no matter how much effort I've put into it, no one's really come in here with asking about it. I see that you could appreciate some fine art, so I could probably give it to you for about that's 25 gold pieces. Just because of how much time and effort I've put into it. I know it seems expensive for wood, but you can't put a price on art.
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is a fine piece of craftsmanship. I mean, I would be robbing you if you took anything less than that.
Well, thank you very much.
Actually, on an addition, do you perhaps have or would have some time to carve up a tiny wooden dog, perhaps?
Yeah, I've actually got plenty of dogs over here if you want to take a look at them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
come
would
on.
not mind it at all.
And he brings you over to this kind of wall as he's looking over and goes, now is there a certain breed of kind of dog where you can kind of look around here? This whole little section here is all going to be all of the dogs in which I've worked on. You're seeing all kinds of different dogs. You're seeing little tiny little schnauzers. You're seeing
I'm looking
huge
for
mastiffs.
one that looks similar to the one that came up to Silas before.
So it's good. Mistrix, do you want to describe what that dog looks like?
Okay. So the easiest way to describe the dog that he is trying to mimic is think of a border collie. How they're kind of fluffy, they've got a lot of hair, but instead of being the normal, ring around the neck of a different color, he's all black except for a white patch that goes from under his chin, literally it cups his jaw, and goes all the way down his chest. And he's got 2 white paws.
All right. I'll be looking for something like that.
Okay, so after some looking, you're able to find exactly that. You kind of pull it off and you're looking at it. It's perfect. It's exactly like that dog. You're able to see each little tiny bristle of hair and stuff like that on the mane. You're seeing the tail kind of floof up, and you're seeing each little intricate detail. You're even seeing that he was able to get it kind of asymmetrical, so it looks like this dog is kind of licking half his face, and he goes, that's a good one. That's a very good one. I'll tell you what, and with addition to the ship, if it's going to a good home, I'll throw it in with it.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
I don't get very many aficionados of the fine work of wood carving, so please, just if you ever need anything, any kind of wooden needs, you know where to find me. Bring it on back.
Absolutely will. And I would like to purchase the boat.
I'm so happy to hear it. Thank you so much. So he kind of climbs up, and you see him kind of grab this big box out of it, and he's kind of wrapping it all together, and he's putting it inside this box. He puts it on top. You see him stuff it with all kinds of paper and stuff, just so it doesn't seem like it's gonna move. And you see him wrap it around with a bow. He grabs the dog and he kind of wraps it up and puts it in there and goes, there you go. It's not gonna go anywhere. It should stay safe to wherever you need to go.
I absolutely will. Thank you very much. And it's probably too big to carry. Do they just send things off like do they have like post office or something?
You've been in towns enough to know that there is a kind of courier service that can send stuff to different places. So yeah, it'll take a little bit.
But now I'll be carrying it. But
yeah.
All
right. Well, while you were kind of walking out and enjoying a little gift here, I think we are going to take our break there. Because we're just at the 30-minute or 2-hour mark. So
Sounds good.
we'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break. You guys think about where you want to go next. I've just realized that Kazim has never made it clear where he wants to meet up with you guys, so good luck finding each other.
Yeah.
Can I state for all intents and purposes, the dog, my dog, the dog that is being mimicked, was not actually a border collie. He was part pit bull, part chow, and part German shepherd.
Very cool.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. So, is there anything else
ready?
anybody would like to do?
I love you,
Fuck.
Karma.
All the shit.
Once
Fuck it all.
Silas is done praying, he would like to look for some kind of weapon or blacksmith.
Okay, so, real quick, Nico, I'm assuming you're going to go find a person to send that off.
Yes.
Okay.
Cat wants to make a rock concert.
You can message me where it's going, and then I'll message you how much it's going to cost while you're doing that.
Okay.
And then, Silas. So you kind of go back towards the mine, in which you see Kazim leaving what looks to be a kind of blacksmith on the far end of the mine, where they're working on some metals as he's walking over to the people that are kind of rearranging the gems. You guys going to do anything, or you're just walking past each other?
I'm gonna sort of make a physical acknowledgement of him and be like, I'm here. I will catch up with you in 2 seconds. I just want to do a little personal thing first. Because, I'm here, 2 seconds, just going over there.
Before I leave his general, I'm just gonna run up to him. Hey, where the fuck is everybody else?
Nico was with me. I don't know where Nico went. Nico said he was going to look after the horses.
Which I assume at this point, Nico has began making his way back towards you as you're leaving the church. So you guys all kind of, you do see him, Kazim, Silas, we're going to make it so that you didn't really notice him kind of meeting up. Nico, you were kind of following behind him, and Kazim, you actually see Nico walking up on your group behind you guys.
Okay, here's the three of us. Now, okay, I've still got more
Wait, I
things
think
to
I'm the
do.
only one not in the dwarf district.
Yeah, you're the only, no one has any idea where the hell you are.
As far as I'm aware, Mistrix likes her music. If she's anything like she was in River's Run, she's probably gone to one of the many taverns in this city.
Probably.
Many.
Dun dun dun.
I've still got one more errand to run.
As do I. How did your meeting go?
Really, really well. Yeah.
Roll for deception.
I wouldn't say it's deception.
Well, the DM would.
Okay, that is actually not bad. A 16.
So because he didn't actively try and incite you, we're gonna say, yeah, you totally believe him, Silas.
Well, I'm glad that we have people on our side. I would like to meet with whoever your employer is.
Unfortunately, that's not possible. They're just so incredibly busy. Anyway, I got one more errand to run really quick.
That bit I do want to insight, because that's not.
Roll for
That's not like. That's not like Kazim.
roll for deception and roll for insight.
Insight is plus that 15.
You got a 10?
You know he's lying.
Kazim,
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
what happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Kazim.
At
We're not talking. We're not having this conversation. Let me finish my one errand, and then we gotta get the party back together.
At least tell me where I could find them, so that I may go speak to them on my own time.
They're in the library, but you're not of Paylor. They're not going to let you in, nor will they let you talk to
Doesn't he have the
Wendell.
emblem of the
flow?
He has of the flow.
I have the emblem of the plow.
Which is a completely
You'll
different
be
church
at
for
least-
Rivers Run.
Well, yes,
But, yes.
he's obliged to like hear him out, right?
As
No, they're assholes here. They're just
as I would like to try my luck as a diplomat of Archmage Greymore who has sent me to discuss very important happenings in Rivers Run which could affect Peakbarrow on my own time without any association to you whatsoever.
Greymore, Archie, cool. Anyway, yeah, I think these guys are incredibly holier than thou. Good luck getting in. I don't like your odds. I mean, I barely got in, and they love me here. I'm like one of their like highest level church guys.
Speaking of, did you mention the teleporter?
Yeah, no, their teleporter is down right now. We're not gonna be able to use it.
Kazim.
Silence at this point is just gonna roll his eyes. He's not gonna know for sure, but he's gonna make the assumption that there's some bullshit that he smells.
You can immediately tell I'm lying. Immediately.
Oh god.
Once we've regrouped and once we know what our move is, I will find time to go see. What is the name of your leader?
Zwendal, but don't call him that. He gets pissy about it. It's Sunbeam because he's quirky.
How does one spell Zwendal?
Zuendal.
Zuendal.
Nice and simple.
Yep, that page.
Hey, Karma.
Yeah.
I just noticed I'm a life domain cleric of the sun god Palor. Should I be a light domain, or am
So I want to keep your options open to whatever you want to do. So you pick whatever subclass that you want to be.
Cool.
Okay.
I look at it as the interpretation of how you use that magic rather than the actual magic itself.
Understood. Thanks,
Now,
buddy.
Before I very quickly go speak to that weaponsmith, because
Oh, you're gonna love this. That guy's Tasha's cousin.
I may be able to get something in then. I've not seen many, if any at all, tabaxi. Kazim, are there any that live here that are of Mistrix species?
Nope. You know for a fact that there's not.
She's one of a kind, baby.
Then she should be very easy to track and find.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I'll
I'm a
just ask for
sneaker cat.
a walking cat with a loot.
I'm gonna pull out the hand axe I just bought, actually. Recognize this?
Would I, Karma?
It's Tasha's.
Yeah, you would because it's
Yeah.
Tasha's. It's exact.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like Tasha's.
I just want to make sure. Ah,
Marcus made 2 of these. Tasha has one. I'm not very good at using hand axes. Would you like the other?
if nothing else, then to pay respect to her, and I'll take the hand axe.
Okay.
Is it just a regular hand axe?
No, I have to make a custom weapon for it. Which after this, we might have to work on how I'm gonna make homebrew stuff because I still don't know how to do that. So I'll figure that out.
I can show you how to make homebrew stuff.
Okay.
Make them official items. I can
Cool.
run that through with you. All right. If you guys ask around and see if they've seen a walking, talking music cat, I'll quickly nip into the weaponsmith and then we'll go after them together. Considering they do potentially have one of the most dangerous items of all of existence in their back pocket.
Speaking of which, Mistrix, make a
Yes.
performance check.
I want to make the best concert ever. Can I add a bonus for any particular reason, as in being the exotic cat of the district?
I'm just gonna say no, just because it's quiet for right now. So you're just trying to entertain one person, so you're just gonna make a normal
But
normal
the door's
performance.
open.
It sure is, but you're still making a performance check. Depending on how the performance goes, perhaps there may be more.
Okay. I gotta add my freaking bonus, and I'm on the wrong page again. 18 plus 5. So, fucking brain.
Okay.
23.
What are you playing?
I I'm going to play a song from my homeland on my fucking lute.
Okay.
Because why not? The lute seems to be doing the best.
What's the kind of mood you're trying to emanate with this?
Just like the song you would hear before the drinking song.
Okay, so kind of jaunty, but not quite super heavy or anything like that. So
Yeah.
you do what instrument are you playing on?
The lute.
Okay, it's a beautiful kind of plucky little song that you're playing that you look over and you do see that the tavern owner is just kind of sitting there and kind of listening along as he's cleaning stuff around. He seems to be really enjoying their kind of music. And you see that as people are walking by, you see a couple other Aarakocra kind of point their heads in, kind of looking around and go and listening to the music as they see a tabaxi in there. So they start kind of come in and start kind of going to the bar and ordering drinks and asking questions of the tavern owner as they're sitting there. And you get a sizable crowd, I would say. You see you were able to pull at least 6 or 7 people out from the street just hearing your music coming in, and they start kind of coming, and you see the bar owner kind of walk over and bring you a beer, an ale, because they just assume what you might want. You see a little kind of bag that they kind of place next to it as you're playing, and go back and start serving everyone else, start kind of drinks and stuff. So it's beginning to get a little bit more lively as you are entertaining the crowd. So while that's happening, what are you guys up to? Silas, you want to go first over to the weaponsmith?
Yeah, sure.
So you walk over to that same dwarf working on a heavy piece of metal. It seems to be coming into a beautiful shape. He's making some kind of long sword, or perhaps a little broadsword or something. And he kind of looks over at you and he kind of wipes off his face a little bit and goes, an orc. I haven't seen your kind around here very much. How can I help you?
I'm looking for a practice crossbow, let's say. Something light, something flexible, safe for children.
So just kind of simple, easy construction. Are you looking for kind of smaller? Are you looking for light? What are you looking for?
Something small and light, if best. A hand crossbow, maybe.
Okay, well, yeah, I've got something like that. One second.
And,
Yeah, so you see him kind of going back, and he pulls out this very rudimentary, kind of basic, small hand crossbow, and he kind of brings it out and goes, now, it doesn't have too much power behind it, but if it's just practicing with maybe your shots or something, practice reloading and stuff, it's serviceable. It's not too crazy. I haven't put too much effort into it, but yeah, I've got something simple like that. I can throw in some bolts for that for about 5 gold.
yeah, 5. Yeah, that's more than fair. I'll take it.
All right, so he does the same kind of thing. You see that I was described to Gazim. He kind of pulls the crossbow over, and you see him bring it over to this workshop behind him. You see him kind of polishing it up a little bit, making it look at least a little bit more presentable when he has it pointed down and towards the little handle on the butt. And you see him put a little piece of metal on there, and he puts a stamp on it and starts hammering it in. And everyone goes, there you go. Anything else?
That'll do me more than fine, thank you.
All right, well,
The little one who will receive this, I'm sure, will very much appreciate your handiwork.
I hope so. And anytime you need something else, you just come on over to Stormbringer. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's good to see your kind actually finally able to make some leeway through our cities here. Don't see many of you kind.
Absolutely. And Tasha sends her love.
Oh, friend of Tasha, that's the second one today. That's fantastic.
Yes, she has been more than kind to me during the integration of my people in Rivers Run.
Yeah,
So
she always was the kind-hearted one as well as a heavy drinker. You tell her that she's got a problem. She needs to figure it out.
I'm sure she will, my friend.
Well, it's always good for you to see a friend of Tasha. Marcus Stormbringer.
Silas Locke. And I'll shake his hand.
Pleasure. I'm glad to see that she's able to reach out to not just kind of the more orthodox race, is able to kind of reach out to everyone else.
She has played arguably the biggest role in making sure everyone is represented.
Don't tell her that, because she'll get a big ego, and you know how I'm sure you probably see how she is with her ego.
She already has got plenty. She is the godmother of my son.
Well, if you see her, you tell her that Marcus needs his ale that she owes him.
I will make to her as quickly as the wind.
I appreciate you. It's good to meet you there, Silas.
And I'll just make my way out.
All right, so you see him kind of pull that blade back out. He's finishing up. You see him kind of getting ready to heat it up and goes in for the quench as fire kind of comes up out of it. Kazim, what are you doing?
Bad time to eat. I'm going over to the appraiser to just check in on this diamond that I got.
Okay. Real quick, I gotta ask Nico, who did you go with when they split up?
He was actually just kind of standing there with both the horses, kind of looking left to right, and he just standing there on the corner, being like, huh, "Okay, cool."
Standing with the horses on the corner. Okay, so you walk. Fair enough. All right, Kazim. So you walk up to this kind of older dwarven lady, bit burlier than most of the women that you. Actually, you're pretty used to it. Bit burlier than most of the women in Rivers Run, though. Surrounded by these just barrels of gems all over the place. You see her kind of looking at it, and she looks over and goes, "Well, hello, follower of the light. Can I help you?"
Yes, on my travels, I have found a nice uncut gem. I'd like to see if you could appraise it for me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think I've got enough time. Let's have it.
And I'll just set the diamond on the table.
All right, so she kind of picks it up and she's looking at it, and let's take a look here. So she's kind of taking a look, peering through it, and you see her holding it up to the light, and she goes, "Well, it's a little rough. It's uncut, but rather sizable. Let's see." She kind of holds it up. You see her kind of pick up a ruby and goes, "All right, okay. I would say, to the right buyer, of course, I'd probably pay you about, say, 700 gold, probably. You'd get a lot more if you could get it refined, but something this size, I would honestly divvy it up, kind of break it up, then refine it. But, I mean, yeah, 700 gold to the right person."
Okay.
We're going buying that axe now, dude.
Now, let's say, would you be the right person to be able to divvy this up and refine it?
No, I don't generally do any of the purchases or sales. I'm just an appraiser for what comes out of the mine. You might want to go up to the Sky District, and I do know that there's a jeweler up there. He might be able to, because I know he comes to us for some wholesale items, and I think he's been looking for diamonds, but we don't get very many of them up here. And when we do, they're nowhere near this size. So yeah, you might want to go talk to him. He might be interested.
Well, thank you for the recommendation.
No, anytime.
I'll slide a GP on the table for her and make my way out.
Well, thank you kindly, sweetie. You have a great day. All right. So you guys all meeting back up with Nico as he's just kind of standing there like, what the?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Nico. I'm gonna walk up to Nico holding this little sort of hand crossbow that I've got.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Freya's size?
Oh my goodness. She will be all over you when she sees that.
Someone's got to teach her to shoot properly.
Believe me, my aim is nowhere near as good as yours, most likely.
I saw that from the carnival.
Yeah, you know, not. Look, I've never done this before. This whole, fighting stuff. Look, I'm doing my best here. Okay, this is. I'm glad you'll be able to teach her. If we come back.
You mean when we come back?
If we come back.
When,
I mean,
Nico?
you've seen what it did. You've seen the doppelganger. You've seen what it did. How easily just cut all of us down. How can you expect for this to go any better whatsoever than last time? We
We'll
could
be
even
stronger
hold
this time.
it in a cell
Because
with an
Nico-
archmage with us.
Because, Nico, we have people to fight for and people to come home to. you more than me. I'm fighting to make sure you all get back home, whether that be to your own lands or to your family. You're fighting so that Freyr is safe. Kazim's fighting for money. Mistrix is just kind of putting up with us. But there's 4 of us. And as long as you remain true to who you are, you will have me fighting by your side.
None of this is alright. I hope you know that. I mean, this whole situation is just so. I just don't know what we're supposed to do.
We live.
What time is it right now, Karma?
Based on when you guys got there and everything that you guys have been doing, I'm gonna say it's around 2:30, 3 o'clock, I would say.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I know what I would like to do.
Oh yeah? And what is that?
Grab a bite to eat?
Shall we find our feline friend?
Yeah, let's go have lunch as a crew.
Okay. Will you guys roll for investigation with advantage?
I would like to look for stables. But probably none around here
Oh,
whatsoever.
shit,
But,
we got-
I'm still holding the fucking horses, you
Guys,
know?
This will also mean you could find my horse outside of the tavern.
Oh, yeah, the only people
That's why-
around with horses.
That's why it's advantage. Because the music, the horse, there's gonna be a lot of things.
I
The
rolled
fact that I'm the
so
only
well.
cat.
I got
I
14.
totally believe you.
I
Adventure,
was a
right?
10.
Ooh. Investigation?
Yes.
19 total.
So
Hey!
while Silas and Kazim are just kind of wandering around, kind of staring up at the different buildings and stuff, looking down alleyways, assuming some weird things about Mistrix, Nico, almost immediately when you start kind of walking through the Dwarven district, you kind of turn a corner and you look over and you kind of turn to the other two and kind of point out the very large horse sitting in front of a tavern.
Just so we know, my horse is a gypsy vanner. If you don't know what a gypsy vanner horse is, think what they depict unicorns as, with like the big bell feet.
So a
and,
very fabulous horse.
Yes. And it's black and well, it's like a mahogany bay. If you know
is
what that
sitting
looks
out
like.
outside of this tavern with tied to the kind of rails that are on the outside there.
With a lyre on its rump.
Yeah, very clearly Mistrix's horse that you see, but they
Hey
don't
guys. You know, I don't know, something just, oddly screams at me, but like,
In
I
my
feel like maybe this direction would be the right one.
defense, Nico, this is the second town or city I have ever been in.
In my
I used-
defense, I was looking for lunch.
We have.
Can I roll to be playing a really awesome song that they're
let's-
just not
let's do a
hearing?
performance, because as you've been in there,
Okay.
I'm assuming more people are kind of
Yes.
coming in.
And it's lunchtime, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Kazim, no offense, but like, I don't know
26.
if you remember, but we are here on like a very important.
And I'll do
Mission,
some
no?
prestidigitation.
We're
for
not
that,
gonna
too.
do very well on the mission with.
Okay, what are you,
No
what are you
rest,
playing,
no
Mistrix?
We're gonna say that I am playing for shits and giggles, we're going to be playing the song from Beauty and the Beast, the Gaston song, but we're gonna be singing it about Silas.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, you got a little rendition for us? Yeah. After you, please.
Okay, so it's one of those no one's green like Silas, that kind of shit. That kind of funny shit. Like it's kind of like almost mockery, but it's good mockery.
Oh my god!
I'm not singing any more of it. We're not doing this because I will be laughing at myself,
No
and I'm
one
not okay with
green
it.
like Silas gives GP like Silas. He's been hunting and hiding in the forest, Silas. So you guys are walking by, you're hearing this whole
I expect
tavern,
this to be on
which-
fucking TikTok or something.
which, Kazim, you're
I'm talking
shocked.
about your horse too.
You're
I'm talking
shocked
about your
that you're
horse, too.
hearing all of these people singing in this bar because it's in the Sky District, which you know is generally very calm. It's the most life you've ever seen in these kinds of bars. As you guys walk in,
They're so uptight up here.
yeah, they're generally not this energetic. And as you kind of walk in, you see there's all kinds of Aarakocra and little gnomes and dwarves. There's a good like 20 people in this bar, which doesn't really happen in the Sky District. As you guys kind of walk in and you're seeing standing on a table is Mistrix all dorned up and
The
her
lights are like raving with us. And it's the line you walk in on is no one cuddles at night with his horse like Silas.
God. I look at Silas with like physical eyebrow raised.
as you guys are walking in, she's finishing up. She does her grand ending, and you're hearing everyone boisterous laughter and clapping, and everyone's trying to buy her a drink as she sits back down, and she sees you guys kind of walk in, lifting her glass, smiling as knowing that you just heard the song about you, Silas.
Yes. I'm gonna be weird, and I'm gonna tell the barkeep to give me a drink of milk, vodka, and rum with a piece of charcoal in the bottom.
He doesn't even like question it with how much energy and money you're bringing in. He just very quickly throws that together, kind of brings it over to you. Oh, and that bag that was there a little bit. He left you 2 gold because you started bringing in a lot more business.
Hey, awesome. No,
So-
one of her quirks is that she has a very odd taste. So
Yeah, so he brings you over that drink, and he goes, that was great. That's fantastic. You should be a regular here.
Here's the gentleman I was singing about too.
Oh. No one's green like silent. And he starts walking away singing this song because it's stuck in their head now.
And I'm gonna be like,
this
ladies
is
and gentlemen, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and have some food with my friends.
You see,
Please enjoy your
as
food.
are you guys walking over, assuming through the crowd?
Like
I'm
holding like a
taking-
snicker.
I'm just taking the seat at the bar. I'm not really phased by it.
Are you sitting
I
at the bar or are you
expect it
sitting
from
at the booth that
I
Mistrix is
I have
at?
a table. I have a table.
I know, but I want to go to the bar and sort of listen in on a few conversations. I'm new in town. I want to know sort of what the
Everyone knows who you are now.
celebrity shows up at the bar. Everyone's
There you
gonna
go.
come to the bar.
There you go. All right.
So you sit down at the bar and you do hear the murmurings of like, I think that might be Silas. Is that the person?
Does he cuddle horses? What?
I mean, that's a little odd. I mean, that whole song about him, that bard that was all about, he must be really good. So one guy kind of walks over and goes, "Hey, can I get you a beer there, Silas?"
One ale, just the one.
All right. So he kind of waves over the bartender to bring you over an ale and goes, "What brings you to Peakbarrow?"
Official business for the flow.
Don't worry, I have another song to play after lunch.
Direct representative of Archmage Greymore.
You see him kind of get a little, because it's an Aarakocra. He seems to be in kind of peasant, kind of more normal clothes. He doesn't seem, so he seems kind of a little taken aback by your officiant kind of tone in your voice, and goes, "Well, welcome to Peakbarrow. I hope you find what you're looking for." And he kind of wanders off. What are you two doing over at Mistrix's table?
I think I'm gonna call the bartender over and try to get some grub.
Okay, well, he easily enough, as soon as you two sit down next to Mistrix, brings you guys over a couple ales as well. And he goes, "Well, can I get you guys anything? What do we need?"
Probably just something simple. I mean, we're here for a quick bite, a chat, and then we go right back to Rivers Run, right?
I have one
That's
more
the
song to play
plan,
before we leave,
right?
just so you know.
No, I can't wait to hear that.
We've got a couple more things to investigate in town. I don't know how well those are gonna go anymore, but
Didn't you say that you were just supposed we're just supposed to deliver the message? You did that. We're fine.
Anyway, can we get
right?
some of 3 of your best meals, please?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll go grab some lunch for you guys. And kind of
Thank you.
wanders after you guys go.
Why are we talking about business in front of the barkeep like it's normal?
I mean, this is normal conversation, right? We're supposed to go back now, right?
the barkeep will
Sophie?
probably listen more to what I have to say than fucking Sunbeam will. Jesus.
That's okay. My
we're at a
next song will
point
make
right
you feel
now.
better. It's okay.
We're at a point right now. There's a very fine line we have to walk. Nobody in the church will understand the threat that is approaching their town. And yet I feel like we're still responsible to help.
Did you tell them about my rock? I've named it Jewel.
You named the rock Jill?
Jewel, right?
Yeah, Jewel. Jewel.
Hmm.
Oh, Jewel. Okay. See, now if we start naming rocks in front of Sunbeam, I
literally
feel like we'll be put
Tied to my belt. Like in a little bag tied to my belt.
Okay.
Yes.
That is so incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, it's fine.
What if anybody touches that thing, they could be...
Yes, but it's on my person. They have to touch me first. Would you rather I leave it in the bag, in the booth, as I jaunt around and sing?
I just assumed you would be wearing the bag while you sang.
In this getup? And she's wearing like her fanciest, like shiniest clothes.
Oh, my mistake. I didn't realize that wearing a leather pouch with a glowing orb in it was more fashionable than a backpack. That's my bad.
Do you not remember how tattered that backpack was?
I don't. No. Also, doesn't matter how nice it looks.
Anyway.
We have an incredibly dangerous magical item on our hands, and we gotta keep
I don't know
it
if
safe.
I want to sing your song now.
I don't want a song sung about me. I
You
don't
already
need
have a
anybody
song.
else knowing that I'm here.
No, you know what? I'd love to hear that song. Why don't you?
Would you?
go ahead?
Would
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
Okay.
I would love to hear that song.
All
I
right.
just stare at Kazim.
All right. I'm gonna like get up on the table and sing this goddamn song. And I kind of wanna like let my tail use the drum while I pluck the lute to give it good beat.
Okay.
And do you want to know what this song is a rendition of?
Yes.
Who here has watched Aladdin?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god.
Instead of Prince Ali, it's Prince Kazim. Wondrous he, cleric of, and I can't remember the name of your church.
Hey, Laura.
There you go.
Roll for performance.
Let's do it. But please let me do good or let people hate him and throw shit at him. One of the two.
Why are those your options?
Karma?
Huh?
I got a natural 20.
Wow. Kazim, I didn't.
It's
I feel
almost.
like I should be taking a drink for this one as well,
So
honestly.
she made this song on the spot, but somehow it almost seems like people in the bar know the words to it and begin singing along with her as she going, Prince Kazim, happy Eve, cleric of Paylor.
It works though, and it's fucking beautiful.
Not a prince. Not a prince.
Sure,
Cheers
buddy.
to that. That's a
Sure.
good. I'll take that
Oh
20.
my God.
I'm gonna take a shot with you guys because that was just. I was hoping it would be a nat 1, that way people would throw shit at
Oh
us,
fuck, that's even funnier.
but it went completely 360.
As you guys are
That song.
singing this song and having your fun, and you're walking around dancing and singing this song, the bartender.
With the shiny sphere on my belt.
There has been the bartender kind of comes over and puts down the food around all of you guys, and you see that it's a pretty simple. There's like a little side salad and a little easily couple pieces of ham or something and a little piece of bread. Looks like if you wanted to, you could probably make like a little sandwich of it or eat it separately if you wanted to. Very simple, very basic, but he doesn't even charge you guys. He's just sitting there. He's dancing along, singing with Prince Kazim, the song. It's amazing.
And one part of it's gonna be about how he's smarter than the Archmage. Smarter than Archie.
God.
Because remember, he told us that he is very high ranking. Yes, I know it's a lie. But-
incredibly high ranking.
Oh, he may be such a bore, but he's smarter than Archie Graymore.
He sends
on
love
that
to his
line, I'm
lord,
gonna
Prince
just
Kazim.
put the sandwich together, shove it in my rations pouch, and just bounce. I'm done with this shit.
Silence.
Prince Kazim, don't leave.
Stop Prince Kazim from leaving.
As you're trying to walk out, Silas, are you doing anything?
I'd like to go over to the group spreading rumors.
Okay. So, as you walk over to the other edge of the bar, and you hear one of them kind of talking about, yeah, did you hear about there was this group I heard in Rivers Run, they attacked guards or something like that, and the couple kobolds ended up getting hurt. I don't know, I heard it from, such and such, and you hear him kind of murmuring and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I heard there was, like, some kind of, they talked about how there was purple or something like that. I don't understand. Did you hear about what happened in Kin?
Good fellows. Where did you hear about all this? I'm very intrigued.
Well, when we were working just kind of over at the tailor's, and it's kind of been a whisper that's been around here for at least a day or two. What did we?
It's already there.
I picked it up from my buddy who was coming in for a tailoring, and he told me he heard it from one of the guards. I don't know where the guard might have heard it from.
Interesting. Okay, and Kin, there's trouble there, people dying, disappearing.
Yeah, we've heard rumor, like there's, so, you're probably not from around here, or have you
No,
been...
no, I'm from the wilderness, near Rivers Run, a few miles to the north.
So just as a heads up, you three are hearing this conversation because they're pretty close to the end of the bar where you guys are, so if you're paying attention, you see Silas over there. Any of you that wants to listen probably can, but he goes, yeah, over at Kin, they've got this, like, ghost story about some girl that enters your dreams or something like that. And, if you notice her, she'll haunt your dreams until you die or make you disappear. And there's always been kind of rumors, but I've been hearing lately that over the past, like, week or so, they've been kind of a lot more people have been missing. Mostly, there have been a couple kids, but it seems to be mostly, like, mine workers down there or something like that.
See. Thank you for the input. And you said a guard was sort of the earliest source of the rumors?
As far as I don't know which one, but yeah, my buddy's buddy heard it from a guard or something like that. It's just kind of one of those rumors that everyone kind of hears, you know what I mean?
And who is it the guards answer
to? Well, most of them work for the church up there. You can probably go talk to the receptionist. We all work for the Sunbeam, but he doesn't dole out those orders most of the time. So you can probably talk to the captain of the guard up there.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, bud. Hey, if you need any new clothes, you just go down the street. You'll see us there.
I'll throw a couple silver pieces on that table. I have a drink on me. The flow thanks you.
Hey, appreciate it, bud. You kind of see them backing over the bartender to get their drinks. You see Kazim kind of storming out real quick, and then Nico and Mistrix, what are you guys doing with your little meal?
To sit down and have a nice meal with Nico.
All right.
Well, Nico is actually quite interested in the conversation that he is listening to.
Okay.
Did they mention the city of Kin?
Are you talking to Silas?
Yeah.
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 I believe they did. A young girl haunting dreams and threatening death.
Are you possibly talking about Terror Sarah?
Am I?
Well,
you seem more informed than I, Nico.
it's more of a scary. I've read a story about it, and just the name just kind of rung in my head as I heard it. You know,
Stories like
a scary
doppelgangers.
story. Well,
So,
more of a.
Are fairy tales coming to life? Is that what's going on right now?
Well, I'm not sure per se, but like, it's about this young girl that could enter other people's dreams. It's nothing short of, mind reading per se, but are we
Nico.
sure?
Nico, we are dealing with doppelgangers, which, as far as the city is concerned, is nothing but fairy tale. If there is anything of concern,
Do we need
considering
to-
what I have witnessed,
Do we need to
I'm
learn
going
about the fairy tales around us? Because that's kind of what it's seeming like. Doppelgangers were fairy
I read
tales.
it in a children's book. I was
Doppy-
not expecting to actually
Doppy.
heard the name out here.
But doppelgangers were fairy tales for the longest time. So it kind of seems like they're using fairy tales.
And who are they?
Who knows?
Jesus.
God says, who knows? If there is a god.
A good way to hide tragedy is through song and fairy tale. Oh dear, Mistrix knows that better than most.
I know the song part. I'm not very good with the storytelling. My storytelling gets a little weird.
The point remains the same.
It's kind of like I zone out. It's really creepy. Like, yeah.
Point remains the same. Either way, I think we need to catch up with Kazim, and I'd like to have a word with this Sunbeam. There are rumors that a certain group of individuals were harming kobolds and guards at a carnival
A group
in
of
River's Run.
They can't be talking about us, can they?
Well, I wasn't there with you all for the whole carnival thing, so.
Well, wait. How?
Someone is spreading rumors and mistruth.
And who else would do that except for him? No one else knows about it. No one else could get here before us, possibly, if what Kazim tells us is, the shortest shortcut towards this
Which
place.
is why I think we should go and speak to the Sunbeam. Perhaps not with Kazim, but we can discuss that with him outside. And I think it best, Mistrix, we bring the...
We bring Jewel? I can bring Jewel. That's fine.
I'm going to assume by Jewel you mean the rock, in which case, yes.
Well, let me change and collect tip and all that good stuff. And I'll be right on that.
I will catch up with Kazim and we'll be waiting outside.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go after Kazim if
All
Nico
of
wants
this
to come
is
with.
going to shit.
Yep.
Yes, he will follow you. Yeah.
Alright. So, Mistrix, you're able to walk up to the bartender and you let him know that you're about to leave, and he kind of slides you over what looks to be a tankard that they've been filling up with kind of gold and extra tips for you and stuff like that. It looks like you get yourself like 8 gold pieces. It looks about 15 silver pieces, and it looks like 9 more copper pieces.
Woo woo.
And as you guys are walking out, Kazim, what are you doing outside?
I'm going to that jeweler that the appraiser told me about earlier.
Okay, so when you guys walk outside, you see Kazim kind of walking up the street towards another building. Mistrix, you kind of come out after Nico and Silas start kind of chasing after Kazim. You guys talking?
I'm gonna just sort of point over to Kazim and, I really hate this running around business.
So they kind of catch up with you, Kazim, as you're walking up to the jeweler easily. Because you're not walking over there fast, you're just kind of mad and walking around.
Yeah.
So,
Hey guys,
Are we still grumpy?
I'm not grumpy. I've got things I'm doing, and it just happens that sitting down and eating lunch, I thought it was going to be pretty quiet. I would have liked to have a little bit of a conversation, and then there was a crowd, and
I was asked to play a song. I'm sorry.
I'm not upset, and there's no reason to apologize.
Can I tell if
wasn't
he's actually upset or not?
I don't know.
I'm not actually upset.
You're not actually upset.
I'm genuinely, Kazim is not upset. He just got a lot going on, and a crowd is a terrible place to talk about business.
Hey.
Well then, do whatever business you need to do, and then I think we should discuss a potential meeting with the Sunbeam. I know you don't like that, but let's discuss it once you come out.
We can discuss it right now.
On our way?
So, yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of time to walk. There's nobody around us, is there?
No, and you are like directly in front of what looks to be a kind of jeweler little business. It doesn't look like it's a big store or anything. You don't see any name on the outside, but you do see like jewelry and stuff sitting on the outside of it.
Well, before I go in,
Okay.
I just want to let you guys know, I think Sunbeam is kind of a dead end. I understand if you guys want to take a chance at talking to him, but as far as I understand, you're going to have a hard time getting past the door, let alone to him himself.
Someone's already been here.
What?
There are rumors spreading around about what happened at the carnival.
rumors about a group of individuals attacking kobolds and guards at the carnival in Rivers Run.
Attacking
Oh.
kobolds and guards?
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I could get from it. Now, I don't know how long that carnival was there, but I can only really remember one fight that happened there. There's also some rumors about the city of Kin, which we need to discuss with Nico when we have the opportunity.
We didn't attack any guards while we were there.
But you all were involved in the same combat.
And obviously, whoever is spreading this wants for us to be seen in a bad light, so it doesn't matter whether or not it's true. It's
The
rumors.
earliest source of the rumor is a group of guards. The guards work for the captain, who works for the Sunbeam, am I correct?
Yes.
So I think it best we find out whether or not these rumors have been spread by guards. Because if there is an infiltrator, we know that a doppelganger was on their way here. Did we ever account for the fact that there may already be doppelgangers here? And they communicated potentially by mechanisms of the flow. Perhaps
Here's-
teleportation that they didn't want us knowing about?
Here's the problem. If there are doppelgangers here that are trying to sabotage us, we need to lay low. We cannot get away with nearly as much stuff as we got away with in Rivers Run.
We can't be doing this over and over and over again. Like, this is exactly what happened in Rivers Run.
Except this time, we can't schmooze up to Archie to get him to do whatever we
Then I
feel
guess
like we
we're
need
just gonna have to find a way to schmooze your guy.
Impossible.
And what's
Impossible.
saying that this guy is not already fucking afflicted like everyone else at the fucking floor was?
I got no. Honestly, they've always been pricks. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between.
Great to know. Great. Absolutely amazing, stellar news.
Are you sure there is no chance that they would maybe listen to an outsider who doesn't know about their fairy tales? And yet they're seeing things that are exactly like their fairy tales.
They're not going to let an outsider through the door. They'll come up with a million reasons of why you would have figured out about a fairy tale before they'll actually pay attention to what you said.
What if
Our
they
problems
didn't know
are
he was
getting
there?
into the building, talking to Sunbeam, and then convincing him of what we're saying is actually true. And
But if we
then
work as a group,
convincing
it'd
him
be
that
a
it's
lot
an actual
easier.
problem.
But working as a group is a lot easier. We've done all of this shit by ourselves, and where has it gotten us?
I can get us through the door. I can get us to talk to Sunbeam. He may listen to us. He won't believe us.
We can see
We
about that.
gotta fucking start somewhere, though.
Get
With enough evidence, we'll be
If
okay.
we want to give it a shot, we can. But I'm telling you, it's not going to work.
But
And all
just
we have to
tell
show
them that
for
tell them that we're part of the flow and not.
they fucking hate the flow here,
And?
guys. They're
Okay.
telling them we're a part of the flow was basically the same as saying, "Hey, I'm from out of town. How's it
But
going?"
if it's the flow asking for help,
They've already.
Not just
That's
the
what we're
flow.
supposed to be in Rivers Run for. They're pissed at me for being back here to work on this more.
They're pissed at you, they're not pissed at us.
Yeah.
Let's get us to Sunbeam, let us do the rest. We can try, and we will be civil. We're gonna
Alright.
look at everyone there.
Go
Okay.
talk to Sunbeam. Good luck. If you need a prison break when he throws you all in jail for even questioning Paylor's light, good luck. I'll be there in a bit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna walk inside the jewelers.
Okay, so you walk into the jeweler's, and you see that it's relatively small. It's maybe 25 foot by 25 foot. And you see that there's this kind of older, gnomish woman kind of sitting there, looking through her looking at a couple rings and polishing them up and stuff. You see these glass cases all around with different kinds of jewelry and sparkling stones all over the place. You see her look up and she goes, "Well, hello.
How you doing, man?
It's another great night. Beautiful night. How can I help you?"
I was told you were the person to talk to about this, and I'm gonna lay the diamond on the table.
Oh, that is a 1 large diamond. Wow, where did you get this?
It's a long story. Family heirloom. I was hoping you could refine this a bit for me. Either break it down into smaller pieces or 1 large cut diamond.
Well, let me see here. Well, it depends on what kind of things you would want. It takes a while for be able to refine diamond down. It'd be easier if I was to break it down into smaller ones, but I could do 1 large one. But obviously, I've got some time. It's going to take a little bit of time to do it either way. So if you want it as the kind of large one, it's probably going to take me about 2 or 3 days to be able to get it into a decent kind of shape. It's probably going to be about, well, I'd say 15 gold to be able to get into a good shape as large. If I was to break it down, I could probably get it done by tomorrow, but it's still going to be about 5 more gold because it's going to take me a while. So, but I could probably do something like that for you.
Let's do small pieces. Get it done by tomorrow. What you thinking? Morning, afternoon?
If you come back, say around 11 in the morning, I should be done, I think.
Perfect. And I'll slide her 20 GP.
All right, thank you very much. I will say, if you are interested in selling this, see, without being refined, I'm more than willing to pay for it. I've been looking for some good cut diamond.
How much?
Well, obviously I'm gonna have to refine it either way, depending on what I want to do with it. I'll give you 650 for it.
See, 650 is a little low.
Are we
I know.
or
If you guys would have followed me into the jewelers, then
I'm waiting outside.
I mean, fuck it, I'll go
You know
in.
what?
Shiny things are
Yeah,
shiny,
go
let's
ahead.
go.
see, I've got a buyer lined up for. He said either a large diamond, well refined, or a lot of smaller diamonds. He's going to give me 1,000 for it.
Roll for
Honestly, it would
deception.
save me time if you could do 750.
Okay, deception or persuasion, your pick.
Okay, I have higher. I know I have a +1 to deception because I'm very charismatic.
I've got some really good persuasion, man.
I've also
would-
got a +1 to persuasion.
How would you
I have-
help him?
With the trade?
Yeah, if you were gonna try and help him with this, how would you?
One of those, and 750 would kind of be a really low ball, even in the park that he's in now. He still would be losing out on money. But if it's for the betterment of the cause, I guess we could really give it some thought if you're willing.
Okay, so both of you could roll for perception or persuasion, or Kazim himself can roll for persuasion.
I think we're better off on both rolling. For
I was gonna say, I
persuasion.
have a +7 to persuasion.
Yeah. I think we'll both roll 1.
Yeah. 23?
7?
Well,
Why are you so bad?
I see.
I'm not charismatic.
I see
You
where you
don't
guys are
say.
coming from, and if it was refined, I can absolutely see fetch at least 750. But with it being unrefined right now, I think the most you'd be able to get is about 700. And if you got a buyer going for 1,000, I think you're better off with just refining it and selling it off to him. To be honest, the most I could possibly do, being that I have to refine it, I have to take all the risk and all the reward for it.
That being said, it is all the reward, as you say.
It is also all the risk, because this is quite a lot of diamond, and I have to figure out, do I want to break it down and hope that I make that money back, or do I want to try and sell it as 1 large diamond is the question. There's a lot of work,
Yes, but
because there's
you're
a lot
also a jeweler. There are many things you could do
Sure,
with
there's
that.
also a lot of work that I have to do. There's also, if you look around, there's plenty of other stones that I could pick from. It's just the amount of work that this is. You have to understand, if I do break it off into smaller pieces, that's a lot of gold I'm gonna have to work with. There's a lot of silver, a lot of different inlays I'm gonna have to do, a lot of different refinement.
You can just say that you don't want it.
Of course I want it, but you have to understand, I've got a business to run. So,
Tell you what here, ma'am. we'll take the diamond off the table.
Okay.
For selling, at least. I'd love for you to still be able to refine this.
No problem at all. Just I will get it done. You said you wanted it in the smaller pieces and done by tomorrow?
Smaller pieces, if you can get it done by tomorrow.
Easily,
you said
I can
11
do
o'clock?
Yeah, about 11 I should be done.
Then why don't you take a look at this sapphire and this bag of various gems I have as well, and tell me what you think of the
Okay. So she kind of picks it up. She's looking at the sapphire and she goes, "Oh, this is a beautiful piece. Large size. It's again uncut, but amazing. You are finding these are some immaculate finds. I think I could probably give you 100 for the sapphire because there's a lot I could work with here. And they've been running low on sapphire, so I could absolutely use that. Let's take a look in this bag of gems here. Oh, okay. There's a couple good ones in here. A couple I don't really have a use for. I'll give you 10 for the bag.
Can I do an insight to see if she's lowballing me?
Sure.
Well, I know she's lowballing me on the bag at least, right? Because you gave me the you told me what the bag and the diamond or the bag and the sapphire are actually worth. I got a 10 insight.
It's hard to tell if you think that she's purposely trying to lowball. It could be, for all you know, it could be that some of those are gems that she might have too many of, and she's just kind of paying for the ones that she doesn't have. So yeah, it feels a little low, but it's hard to tell if you think that she's doing it intentionally or maybe there's some ulterior motive for it.
Shot in the dark.
While I'm here, I want to ask her a question when he's done.
Okay.
Well, the sapphire is yours. I'm gonna walk on the bag though. I've got the same buyer. He's gotten better offer for me on the bag.
Fair enough. Here's the 100 gold for that sapphire. Thank you very much. And go ahead and take your bag. And I'll hold on to the diamond here. And she kind of pulls out this little kind of coin that looks like it's made out of like some kind of steel or something like that. And you see that there's a diamond on one side, and then you see on the back is jewelers. That's all it says on there is just jewelers. And she goes, just bring this back tomorrow. I get forgetful sometimes, so just bring it back tomorrow, and I'll do it for an exchange for your diamond.
Understood. Thank you very much.
So what I want to ask her is, I'm going to take out the piece of jewelry that I have from my homeland, and I'm going to ask her what she thinks it would cost to make something similar, but add like a hint of their style of art, of like jewelry to it.
Okay. Just to make sure, do you have a description of it in?
I do not.
Okay. Do you want to? Did I tell you about specifically one or?
No, you put it in my inventory. You just didn't tell me about it.
Let me see if I.
If you wrote it down. If not, I can come up with something pretty.
I probably did write it down. I just want to really make sure. That's right. That's for the drum. Yeah, I don't think I put any jewelry because are you talking about the rimstone?
No.
Let's see.
You literally typed in there are maps that depict my homeland, and then there is a small piece of jewelry from my homeworld, like from my homeland. So, don't put it in there if I can't play with it.
Oh, that's right.
I can come up with something pretty.
No, it's all right. I know what the style is going to be. So essentially, you pull out this very basic kind of cord on there, and you do see that there's this. How do I put it? It looks like a leaf, kind of, but one of those kind of leaves with a bunch of little tiny twinges off of it and stuff like that, kind of encircling what looks to be a kind of topaz crystal, very yellow, pretty crystal. It almost looks like a cat's eye when you kind of see the black center of the leaf kind of going across it. If you look it to the side, it looks like a cat's eye almost. It's very reminiscent of, it kind of almost looks like feathers going around it, but it's not. It's obviously some type of leaf. She kind of looks up and she goes, oh, wow, this is absolutely beautiful. And you're wanting a recreation, you said?
like taking the idea of our centerpiece with the leaf and the jewel, but adding, instead of cord, adding something more your area style.
Now, are you gonna keep the pendant here on this one, or am I allowed to use that for this new necklace?
You can enhance it, as long
Okay.
as you're sure you will not damage it.
Oh, I'm very careful. So
It is very dear to me.
So I can add this to. If I could use the pendant, it very easily could give it. I think probably a gold chain, maybe some silver little leaflets on the side of it. Add it to make it a little bit more whimsical, and the gold to show Paylor's light, of course. But absolutely, I think we could easily kind of throw something together with that. If you're not wanting any gems or anything added onto it, and just kind of the gold and the silver on top of it, I'd probably put something together. I could do it for 10 gold.
And if I added a jewel?
If you were to add, it depends on the jewel and what you're looking for. So, what kind of color are you wanting to add?
Something similar to the eye, but smaller.
So it's pretty simple topaz. I do have some cat's eyes that you might really like. It's got kind of a beautiful oranges yellow with a black streak through the middle of it. So we could add some of that. It's a little bit cheaper than the topaz. But if we were going to do the topaz, for the topaz and the filigree that I was going to add to it, I could probably do it for about 50. Now for the cat's eye, relatively much cheaper. I could probably do it for about 25.
We'll go with the cat's eye.
Okay. So give it to me here for the night. I will take care of it. I will even save the cord for you for when you come back. And she kind of pulls out another one of those little diamonds and just goes, just make sure you remind me tomorrow what you got. And you could come around, I'd say noonish, maybe 1, and it should be done by then. It's going to take me a little while to kind of shape everything, but I should very, very easily get something like this done.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Okay, thank you guys. Is there anything else I can help you all with? Okay, well, thank you guys for coming in. I hope you have a fantastic night. She kind of whips around really quick as she grabs that huge diamond and starts kind of looking over it and stuff. And you see that she's kind of chipping it off and going and looking for specific places to kind of push in. You see that she's going to start trying to break it apart into smaller pieces. And what are you guys doing? Are we leaving?
Yeah.
Silas, did you wait that whole time?
I waited the whole
All
time.
right, so you guys come around. Silas is just
I mean, he kind of has to wait on me, so.
So Silas is kind of leaning up against the wall, waiting for you guys to kind of come out.
I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna be like,
Silas and Nico, like they're basically standing next to each other.
gonna be like a little nervous because that does mean things to me. That's the one thing I have of my homeworld aside from my map. So I'm a little timid about it, but yeah.
Before you guys go to talk to Zwendel, again, don't call him that. He hates it. I feel like I don't need to say this, but don't let him touch the gem. If you can, have a scribe touch the gem if he needs to touch it.
If he needs to see.
If he needs to use his hands to see, make sure a scribe is touching it and that he's not laying hands on it.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine the power that they would consume just knowing that our...
Now, can we be sure that your people aren't going to try to use this against us?
No, I can't be sure.
Okay. Well, then
That's why I said this is a bad idea.
See it.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think it's a good idea, but you guys want to do it, good luck.
Where will we meet afterward?
That tavern that Mistrix was just playing at, does that have like room and board upstairs?
Yeah, you know.
What is the name of my
that
tavern?
So that tavern is Feathered Bed. That's what it's called. Yeah. So Kazim, you do know that has room and board because that's one of the ones that generally when the light is a little overflown, that's where they would put diplomats and stuff like that. Generally, that's the most popular one amongst the scribes of the light. So yes, you know that there are some there.
What's the name of the owner? Because I didn't write that down because I'm stupid.
I don't think I gave you his name.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It's Tregathu.
What did I give it to him? It looks like... Sorry, I have a huge list. I have to make sure.
Making you bring out all the stops.
Make him work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is my handwriting, so I'm trying to read it. Turnell. It's Ternal. Turnell.
For now.
And he is a bird.
Yes, he's an Aarakocra.
Don't call him Bird.
In my notes, instead of spelling Eric Cochra every time, I put bird.
Incredibly racist.
Which we have established is incredibly racist.
I'm sorry, I'm a cat. Even though I'm highly intelligent, it's easier for me to just refer to things simply.
Okay, so
meet back at the feathered bed after you guys are done. As long as you aren't in.
I'd say if we're not back
Shell?
by morning, you could come look for us, since I do have to pick up my gym.
Or, you know,
Worst case
you're
scenario,
okay,
I'll grab
because
it
this
for
could
you
also
as
be
well.
a possibility.
Thank you.
Maybe give him your token.
okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
if-
can I get your like ticket stub from the jeweler just in case? So if I do have to grab it for you, I can actually grab it.
She's gonna like take it out and put it in your hand and then look at you without like removing her hand and be like, this thing that is in that shop is the only piece of my homeworld that I have.
Understood. I'll make sure that it gets back into your hands.
Thank you. And she'll let it go.
Good luck talking to Sunbeam. I'm gonna go prepay for 4 rooms.
Okay, so easily enough. You do know that it's relatively expensive, so it's going to be a gold room per night. So it's 4 gold for the rooms for the night.
I thought you were gonna tell me 2 gold for a room for a
No,
night.
that is relatively expensive for this area, because it's not like 5-star or anything like that, but it's pretty cush. As you
4
guys,
GP for all of us.
yep, for all 4 rooms for the night. That's per night.
Hell
So yeah. As you
I
walk
would only
off,
be able to get 3.
as you walk off to go get those boarded rooms, you guys are walking up to the light, correct?
Mhm.
So you begin.
I'm assuming the horses are in the stable and we're not walking around with 3
So
horses.
yes, as part of the rooms, the behind the feathered bed, there is a stable where you guys are able to keep your horses. They come with the room, as they assume that there's gonna be travelers and stuff like that. And as you kind of walk up the beautiful white stone streets of the Sky District, coming up to this huge, ornate, beautiful church. Think like those kind of classic cathedrals that you'd see in like Rome. That's what this pretty much looks like, with a giant symbol of Palor, the tribal sun that is the guardian emblem that Kazim has had this whole time. Right above the door, this beautiful, almost entirely gold door. In front of you, up a couple steps, you see guards kind of all over the place and scribes kind of walking around this beautiful courtyard with a couple flower beds kind of around, where you're seeing this beautiful like orange flowers kind of all over the place. And are you guys just gonna walk in?
I mean, I'm gonna walk up calmly and
Unless we're
collectively
stopped, yeah. Just
in
sort
my
of-
traveler's clothes.
All right, so as you guys kind of walk into through the front doors, it does seem to be open. You kind of look around. Much different feel compared to River's Run. This feels a lot more, for lack of a better term, holy. It's kind of echoing halls. It doesn't seem like there's very many. You feel almost out of place. It feels everything is pristine. Everything's very well kept or completely over what's bougie, for lack of a better term, compared to there's quartz pillars. It's beautiful stone, white marble for floors. You're seeing the desk that's kind of built out of stone in this beautiful, intricate design that's engrooved in. And you see a couple more scribes walking around. You just see one lady kind of standing at the desk that's in front of you. Looks like she might be organizing things, but you see that she's not nearly as frantic as Margaret was at the flow. She seems very more prim and proper, very kind of graceful. She's doing things around, and you're seeing no one seems to be in any kind of like rush. Everything seems to be it almost seems like it's all for presentation for some reason.
So it seems fake.
It's hard to not see it like that way, just because none of you come from anywhere that's so kind of prim and proper.
And relaxed.
Yeah, it seems very like uptight is the best way I could kind of put it.
Okay.
Nico, you feel a little bit less kind of very familiar from your past, from what I'm gonna say. So you kind of as you're kind of walking around, looking around to see where you're supposed to go, you see that the woman behind the desk kind of looks up at you. She's a half elf with kind of a very slender, angular face, blonde hair kind of reaching down past her shoulders. And you see that she's got almost the same kind of garb that Kazim's got, with the white robes and the sun symbol on his chest, kind of look up at you. And she's got these piercing green eyes as she makes eye contact with all of you and goes, "May I help you?"
I'm gonna like curtsy a little, just to be like respectful.
You see just the slightest little smirk kind of go across as she kind of bows just a little bit.
Assuming that these two aren't really gonna speak up, I'm gonna be like, "Charmed to meet you. You can call me Trix. We have come from River's Run, and we were hoping to talk to your equivalent of our Archmage."
Oh, you're from the Flow, I assume.
That would be particularly hard to gather. We are not particularly with them, but we are working in assistance to them.
Right. Well, without proper authority to be able to see our, as you put it, equivalent to the Archmage, unfortunately, they don't take meetings from people that aren't on official business. I do have some.
It is official business, I promise you.
Well, I believe that the Flow would probably bring forward a messenger of their own, would they not?
We are the messenger.
You just-
The situation is very.
and I will
told you we are in
show-
assistance with.
I will show the emblem of the flow. I am the messenger.
She kind of grabs the emblem and looks at it, and she goes, "Very well. Please follow me." And you see her kind of get up, kind of straighten her dress a little bit, and she almost seems to glide across the ground. She brings you over towards this, like, it looks like it's kind of the library almost, except, again, very bare compared to it. And you just see this air cockroach with brown feathers kind of sitting there. And you hear, as you guys walk up, as he's sitting at the table kind of reading a couple books, looking over, he looks up at all of you and goes, "Interesting." And you hear the woman go, "Taryn, these messengers from the Flow have asked to see you." And he goes, "Very well, okay. Please,
As
have a seat."
as we're walking up, I'm gonna sort of whisper to Miss Strix. If we need, like, if we're on the situation where we need the last straw, give me a sign. I have an idea, but it is the last option I
Okay.
want to take.
Will do.
So he kind of beckons you to sit in the couple of chairs that are in front of him and goes, "What do our friends from the Flow have to say?"
Well, we were hoping to have a meeting with a gentleman they referred to as Sunbeam, I believe.
"I'm sorry, no one outside of the church sees the sunbeam.
Well,
You
then
can
perhaps
consider me his messenger for you."
so you're more or less his glorified secretary, to put it plainly.
You see this kind of aggressive look towards you and goes,
She isn't. You can tell that she's meaning it in a more charming, dumbing it down for those who may not understand kind of way.
"Yeah, but you see him kind of very clearly take offense to that and goes, "You may see me as his messenger. Now, it's very uncouth of the messengers of the Flow to come and speak down to someone as holy as myself."
I'm just concerned as a messenger to not give the message to the right person.
"I don't believe they would have brought you to me if I was the wrong person. Very few people actually come talk to me."
Well, in that case, I apologize greatly. But when I am told by one person to speak to someone, I have to make sure I am in the right area and the right circumstance.
I understand. I understand. I
Because
sense
our
that
needs
you
are
don't.
very dire.
I sense that you don't find yourself in very many diplomatic kind of situations.
No, we were sent here as a protective thing.
Now, what is the message that the flow has sent us?
Silas, if you would.
Halor's greatest enemy is awakening. The anchors are being broken.
Make an insight check.
All of us, or just one?
Just him.
14?
As soon as you say the word anchor, it kind of, you see him wince a little bit. He goes, now, I must ask, how does one of your lineage know of the anchors?
Once again, we have been working with the flow.
How does the flow know of them?
We
Because
have seen some things.
Care to
And
elaborate?
we are here to see if you can help us understand what the anchors are, so that we can help protect them.
Allow me to explain that the artifacts in which you speak of are regarded as the highest of relics amongst my church. So, if they are under attack, I would like to know how, one, commoners such as yourselves in a church that does not...
If I may, I know I'm interrupting. Can we take this conversation to a more secluded area?
Kind of looks around and goes, that might be best. Please follow me. And he takes you back to down this one hallway where, again, there's a bunch of those rooms where it's kind of soundproof, right? And he beckons you in, and you see the small table built out of the stone again, and 3 kind of stools almost, and you see a chair that he kind of sits down in. And he looks down and goes, now, explain to me how random people that I've never known before, and an entire library that should not know of these, has begun to learn about our relics.
We in Rivers Run have been having a predicament, for lack of better terminology, in the wakes of creatures that should not be real and are once part of our fairy tales springing about and causing mass havoc. And from what we learned in deterring these creatures, this is what they were looking for.
You see him kind of move some things out of his way, and he leans forward towards you and goes, how much did Kazim tell you to tell them?
I'm sorry.
You were the second person to come speak to me of fairy tales. I will ask you the same question in which I asked him as he was here.
May I show you something?
Please.
She's gonna, pick up the bag and be like, I need you to understand that though it seems I am talking riddles and fairy tales, what I have in this bag is frightening an entire town.
He kind of, may I?
Do not touch the object itself.
Oh, I believe I understand how to handle our holy relics. And he grabs the bag and kind of puts it in his lap and opens it up, and you see him lift out the rag, and you see him kind of look at it. All 3 of you make an insight check for me.
I lost it. Okay, I lost my die. Hold
17.
on.
Inside?
Mhm.
19 total.
Hold on. Stop rolling. Thank you. Unnatural 20.
All 3 of you see this look of confusion go over his eyes as he reaches into the bag. And he
I'm
pulls
gonna
out
smack his hand.
He kind of grabs your hand, looks at you, and he continues pulling out the sphere in his hands, looks at it, and looks at all of you and rolls it across into your lap. That is not one of our anchors. It does, however, look a lot like one of them. So, I'd like you to tell me who made it.
We found this on our way here.
Where?
She's gonna kind of look over at Silas as if, do I tell him?
By the way, Mistrix, Nico, and I would assume Silas. Silas, did you see the anchor when it was in? Did you see the sphere when it was in the backpack?
No, I was on the other side of the room.
Okay, so
With the
I know
horses.
Mistrix has. Nico, I don't know.
I've changed bags with it, so I know what it is.
Doesn't look the same.
So someone else has my sphere.
It's not glowing nearly as much as it was for some reason.
Okay. So it's still slightly glowing.
It's
still the same sphere, but it's not.
It doesn't. It's the shape's a little bit off. With your passive insight, you were fairly certain this is not the same sphere that you found in the cave.
I'm going to tell him that this is not the same sphere that I had in the bag.
Let me get this straight. You have found one of our holy relics.
I had it with me, intending to come to you.
Please allow me to speak. I will
well,
not. I will not
tell that she's kind of panicky.
Yeah,
like,
and you see
where
that,
is it?
And
panic.
you see him like kind of losing his patience a little bit. And goes, "I will not tolerate being interrupted again." You say that you found our relic deep in this cave, and somehow along the way you have lost that relic. Know of what it might be from, which that begs a question on its own, as how you might know what it is, where it might have been found in this cave. And you come to me along with one of our own who has seemed to be falling from the graces of our church, speaking of fairy tales of doppelgangers and dangers, making us want to flee from the path of Paylor, and you bring this false idol into my church? Now, tell me where you found this and why I should believe you whatsoever of what you originally thought this was.
This false idol is not what I found, if I can speak plainly to you. It was not originally what I found. This is not the rock that I have been carrying for the past 2 days.
Roll for persuasion.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh my god, why does my D20 want to run away? 13. Unnatural 20.
Okay, so you see him kind of... All three of you kind of notice that his eyes widen just a little bit, that it widens just a bit. Almost like there's kind of a little bit of panic, and you can tell that he believes you. Okay. Now...
We found it.
Where?
In the caverns on the way here.
In the underpass?
Surrounded by dead bodies. Had we not dealt with a crystal similar to its glow and its effervescent ethereal evil, I would not have brought it to you.
Oh,
I do not
dear.
intend for you to run away from your path of religion. I am sincerely asking for your help because this is what it's come to.
Well, care to describe to me the scene in which you found it? What did it look like? What led you to believe that this is one of the anchors? How did you come to find about our anchors?
Surrounded by a pillar of rocks written in a language that I do not know, was a giant glowing crystal in a cavern, also surrounded by dead bodies. Upon my magical way of reading unknown languages to myself, it told us to not touch the anchor.
So you see him kind of stand up and kind of walk over to the door. You see him open it a little bit and beckon somebody to come closer as he whispers something, and they kind of run off, and he closes the door. And he sits back down and he goes,
If I may, sir, before this conversation continues, will you do me one slight favor? It will seem very outlandish. It will seem like I am trying to insult you. But before I bear upon you knowledge that we know, I may ask just the slightest favor of you to cut your hand and bleed for me.
I have been asked very many odd questions throughout my life. Now, it's very peculiar into which you would ask me such an odd request. Why?
You know of the creatures that Kazim has told you about.
Absolute.
That I have told you about.
I know
In those fairy tales, pardon, You did not I did not interrupt you. May I speak?
Please.
In those fairy tales, we know that they can mimic many things. That they can mimic human forms, that they can mimic voices, that they can mimic many, many things. One thing they are not very adequate in mimicking is blood.
Well, I feel like I shouldn't tell you, actually. So, as you guys are having this conversation, Kazim, what are you doing?
I'm still at the tavern.
Are you in the tavern, like sitting in the bar area?
I'm probably up in the room praying.
Okay. So,
Nothing noteworthy.
okay. Well, you hear a knock at your door.
Oh. I'll just. The door is locked. I'm just gonna shout from the bed where I'm praying. Who is it?
I come from the light.
Do you have a name?
Eston, sir.
Eston?
Yeah. It's not the same one from Rivers Run.
I'm a little busy. Is it important?
Taryn needs to speak with you.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Tell him to meet me downstairs as soon as I have a moment.
He said it was very urgent. Something about your friends?
I'll meet him in the church in a couple minutes. I just need to finish talking to Paylor, his light above.
All right. So you hear the receding footsteps back down. You guys are having this conversation, and he's sitting there and he's thinking, I understand that perhaps the flow was able to get some weird stragglers of what could be seen as doppelgangers, but I need reason to believe why Paylor would forsake us so much to leave us defenseless against something like this. I believe...
He may not be leaving you defenseless.
Well, I don't believe that cutting my hand really solves anything, does it?
It doesn't have to be your hand, per se. Just as small, enough to just a couple little dribbles of blood.
Roll for persuasion.
Just for my assurance in the safety of telling you these things. I don't know why I keep looking at it. I know what it is. 18. It's not that great, but it's okay.
You see him kind of get a little annoyed.
We'll change dice.
Do any of you have a knife?
I will hand him my tiny dagger, because it's made for cat claws.
So he kind of grabs it. You see him kind of look at it a little, kind of disgusted. He's looking at the blade, and you see him kind of grab his shirt and kind of wipe it off a little bit. As you see him put his hand on the table and take just the tip of it and kind of poke his finger, and you see just the smallest trickle of regular blood falling out. Does this suffice?
Okay, as me... Well, as the character, would she know if that was enough or no?
Yeah, it looks like normal blood.
Okay, that suffices.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to cause you to inflict pain upon yourself.
Not every day that something like that gets asked. Now, tell me, if you did manage to find what you truly believe, what did you find in Rivers Run to make you think that there was an anchor there?
We dealt not only with the creatures that should be a fairy tale, we dealt with attacks upon city folk by other city folk who knew them, with a change of their eyes and a change of their entire personalities. We dealt with my friend here touching what seemed to be just a normal rock of rose quartz and turning upon his friends. This is not something that we take lightly. It is very concerning to us. And you being of the light and being of the one who should know how to protect his people, we ask for your help.
He sits there and he thinks. And can you two corroborate what this one is saying? Looking towards Nico and Silas.
I mean, I'm gonna look at Silas and look over the man. We may not have been the best equipped people to handle this sort of situation, but for the couple past days, we've been trying to do nothing but to help the cause of the flaw, in particular with handling the doppelgangers. We have by our hands both slain and defended from said creatures on multiple occasions.
Troubling. Well, I must ask, where is the other anchor? The one that, not the one that you found in the cave, but where's the other one? You said that you've seen another one?
We believe it to be another. We aren't sure. We weren't sure what the anchors actually were.
Where is it?
Destroyed.
Seemingly destroyed by one of the doppelgangers.
How do you mean destroyed?
Broken, lessened of its light.
Did it look dull and with a crack on it?
Yes.
Was there blood on it?
Me as Brittany, I don't remember.
Yes, there was.
Okay, yes.
He kind of stands up and goes, I want to thank you for bringing this to my attention. We will get directly on it. I will need to send you back to River's Run, and if you could, bring that back to me.
Would you like for me to look for the jewel that is not the jewel? She points, she does this number to the rock.
We will find it on our own, and use three of you make an insight check.
Oh.
Oh my god. My surface is not flat. 11, 15.
17.
Ooh, 9 total.
So, Silas, you're the only one that notices that his eyes kind of as soon as she says yes that there's blood on it, his eyes widen a little bit, and you can sense you feel this little bit of like, oh fuck me kind of energy coming off of him as he quickly stands up and goes, I will send for you all later. Please let me know if there's anything else. We will take it from here. Thank you very much. And he begins to start walking out.
What do we tell our people?
Will
we receive help?
Yes. Tell them that we will send the raise as fast as we can.
A question, actually. Since this is a message of utmost importance and time is of the essence, do we have a means of traveling quickly, such as what I believe was called before a portal? Or, you know,
As the
something
Archmage
along
tried to
those
send us here through teleportation,
lines?
so that we could get this to you faster.
And it did not work?
They sent us... You're gonna like visibly see her like shiver and like... To the astral plane.
Sabotaged the means of their transportation.
How
for
was it?
magic.
Do you know how it was sabotaged?
By a rock shoved into the sphere.
Was it a rosemary quartz?
I believe so.
Yes.
Very well. I will have it arranged. We will not be able to have it together until tomorrow in the afternoon. So by then, be ready, and we will send you back to River's Run.
Will you please tell Kazim?
I've sent word.
Everything
I've
I
sent
told
word
you.
for him to meet with me.
Okay. I'm trusting you with this. I do not trust very easily.
Let me be very, very, very clear, young one.
Please do. Please.
It is I, the one that's having to put trust in you to let you know that you have no idea what you've walked yourselves into, and
We don't.
take this from not as a leader of the light, not as a speaker of Paylor. Take this as one person from the next. Do not persist down this path anymore.
May I clue you in on something that I've been hearing from your townsfolk before you leave? I know you're in a rush. Some of your townsfolk have been dealing with a fairy tale of their own coming into existence.
Oh, my people, the people of Peakbarrow.
No.
I almost forgot about that. It was overheard in a group while we were at the tavern. People are experiencing nightmares and vivid dreams of a young girl threatening their lives and assaulting them in their sleep.
Rumors can be just
Is-
rumors. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
my first priority is to get this anchor back. I want to thank you for bringing this information to me. If you please, I have some work to do. And he kind of very quickly starts trying to rush you guys out.
May I discuss something with you alone?
Oh God.
Roll for persuasion.
16.
He kind of pushes. He kind of as he's moving.
I'm already on
Mistrix,
my way out,
yeah,
but
he's
I'm going.
moving Mistrix and he's moving Nico
Yeah,
out. And
yeah,
he kind of
yeah.
closes the door and goes, "Make it quick. I have a lot to do."
Is there any doubt in your mind to what the cat has said?
As I told your friend before, we have this under control. Please.
I'm not asking you as a member of the flow. I'm asking you as a messenger of the gods.
And what gods may those be? Orc. And you see this, you kind of see this almost like, it seems like hatred. He doesn't seem to take very kindly to you being there. You don't know if it's necessarily racism because you've seen other people, but he definitely doesn't seem to take too kindly to you.
I understand that you are very dedicated to your religion, and this is meant to no offense. But if other pantheons have focused their attention upon this, I believe it's something you should keep in mind. And I would like to do something very stupid.
And what's that?
I'd like to rage.
Okay. Roll for Constitution, I guess.
Please keep your sanity and do not kill the one person who knows everything who can help us.
That's
I
funny.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. I
You
didn't
have-
give you the code word,
you have
goddammit.
it under control. You're able to. Is there a purpose we're going for?
I'm sure I want to take off my shirt to reveal the brand, and I want to ignite my glaive. I want to show him that
That
the
you are-
gods sent me. And that they believe that this is of concern.
So the two of you outside of the hallway hear the door close and lock. And Silas, you hear it too, but he kind of says, all right. Interesting. Tell me, child of Groomish, what do you know of Tharizdun? So, Kazim,
Dun, dun, dun.
while you were sitting there and praying, I'm assuming, are you actually praying to Paylor?
Yeah, I was actually praying to Paylor. I don't trust the fact that this random guy showed up at my door, knocked on it, and said, "Hey,
Okay.
Kazim, we need you in the building."
Okay. So,
You know,
as you're sitting there and you're praying to Paylor, it starts to dim down a little bit. Everything around you goes very dark. Very, very dark. Pitch dark. You feel the floor underneath you kind of let go. And you feel weightless again. Very familiar before, but you're not seeing the light. And you hear a voice around you, but it's not the normal voice. You hear a more feminine kind of voice in the back go, "Oh, poor child. No idea what to do with himself. Oh, where is your Paylor now? You call, but he does not answer."
I'm gonna look up to try to see who's talking.
Make a perception check.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was actually pretty good. A 12?
So as you kind of start turning around, you're not really seeing it, and the voice sounds like it's coming from all around you, and goes, "Now, I've been watching you very closely too. I've seen some things, and perhaps you and I can help one another." And out from the darkness, kind of to your right, you look over, and you see what almost looks like a spotlight on this very tall, slender woman wearing a black, almost like a ball gown, where there's a slip on the side. It's floor length, and you see this kind of just silver mask with no features on it kind of walking out. And she kind of envelops her. She's enveloped in this weird mist. And she goes, "How about I help you stray from the path a little further?" You two, what are you guys doing while you're out in the hallway?
Honestly, I'm gonna see if anybody's around.
Okay, what?
Is anybody like near?
So you see that there's a couple guards in the hallway and stuff like that.
Because I want to listen to the conversation on the other side of the door.
Okay, go ahead and roll for perception. Nico, I'm assuming you're standing watch to make sure that...
Nico, he will stand there by the wall. He's just thinking about everything that he's heard right now. Like, we're
Okay.
fucked. Shit's going loose. He is just in his mind, just holding his...
Hey, I've been a good cat, okay? Nobody got
yes.
decapitated this time. I've been good.
We have a lot of other fucking issues now!
The fact that we have to say I didn't decapitate anyone this time.
Look, I'm trying, and I was being very civil, and I didn't mean to overshadow anybody, but I figured persuasion helpful. Anyway, I got a 15, so...
Weirdly
yeah.
enough, you put your ear up to the door and you can't seem to hear anything at all. You don't even hear murmurs. It doesn't even, wouldn't even be able to tell that people are actually in there. It's just dead silent, almost like it's completely stone. And as you guys are you're trying to listen in, and Nico's just kind of sitting there thinking. Nico, you look up, and walking through the giant doors, the golden doors, is an Aarakocra. It looks very familiar to you. It looks a lot like the Aarakocra that was escaping from River's Run that you came here to see.
Of course it was.
And that's where we're going to pick up next week.
Ew. Okay. You need you to come out of the bathroom, please.
I'm here, and I will make it very clear to everyone.
Kazim's just praying to some random hooker.
Well, see, this is the part where I think I should mention Silas isn't here for any of you. He's here on his own terms.
Yeah.
Well,
This is a triple cliffhanger, man.
Yeah,
I lost my rock.
It's interesting that you chose to break off from the rest of the group, because I was going to say, but I was figured there's no better time for me to kind of bring this in. And Silas with a very interesting tactic. That was this conversation I'm gonna be 100% honest. This conversation he's having with Taryn, not supposed to happen.
You brought me into a city which is entirely religious.
That whole thing is purely reward for thinking outside of the box, because that was clever as fuck. This shot.
Cheers. Head pat for not murdering
You did really good. You did amazing.
I am shocked that you didn't fucking insult anybody or say some rude comment. When you were trying to interrupt him when you were talking, I was debating. I was like, she's gonna get arrested.
Yeah.
I stopped.
No.
I stopped.
Last
I
time
learned my
diplomacy
lesson the
went
first
on
time.
with the fucking cat, there was jail
Death?
time involved.
There was death.
Almost murdered somebody.
Oh my god.
No,
Oh,
I
God.
killed him.
No. He lived.
Archie basically saved him. I literally.
Yeah, you did kill him. You 100% killed him. And the only reason he survived is because the Archmage was there to heal him.
Yeah.
She
Absolutely.
one-shot him.
So didn't Revivify doesn't count.
He didn't revivify. She was because I've been letting
We
you
weren't in
guys.
combat, so it was okay.
Yeah, because you guys were. I've been letting you do like revive or spare the dying on some other people. I've been doing it for these guys, and that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Humber rules. Woo-woo.
Yeah, no, this
Anyway.
was, you definitely like
Are
in a
we-
way
are
you
we-
kind of laid the groundwork for me, but I was like, the only way this guy is gonna believe a fucking thing that we have to say 100% is if he believes that other god.
Good.
No, you did great, but I wanted to make sure we sealed the envelope because
So-
there was.
Who knew that the ragey cat could be diplomatic?
Anyway, guys, I want to
just
say.
felt like
Hold- I want to say thank you guys for coming to play with me. Thank you, viewers, for coming to watch us. That was, wow, that was an episode. I was expecting just a fucking full-blown shopping episode, but
And please let me know if you want to write the lyrics to Prince Kazim or
if anyone
Silas.
does, I will straight up make it. I will try and record it and put it on for like before we
Yes.
start, because that'd be funny as shit.
Please
Yes.
do.
But
Just please include the horse cuddling. That's all I ask. Please.
anyway, guys, I love you guys very much. I love the viewers very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys all again next week. Do you guys have anything for our beautiful viewers?
I love you,
You're all
Karma.
amazing. We love you.
we love you.
Bye, guys.
We love.
Bye.
Bye.